New construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season, and we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce sunrise sunset smoothie for National Flip Flop Day on May 28th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. More tariff talk from President Trump. In the Oval Office minutes ago, he said he's planning 25% tariffs on iPhones and other smartphones.
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. So anybody that makes that product, and that'll start on, I guess, the end of June. It'll come out. I think we have that appropriately done by the end of June.
Trump also plans to slap 50% tariffs on goods from the European Union. He says he's not looking to deal with the EU. He's already decided on 50%. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's plan to bar Harvard from enrolling international students. Trump says the university still isn't doing enough to combat anti-Semitism.
They have $52 billion, and this country is paying billions and billions of dollars and then gives student loans, and they have to pay back the loans. So Harvard's going to have to change its ways.
CBS's Christina Rex says the administration's assault on Harvard is wearing down students.
They say there's just been a somber and uncertain mood around many of the events happening on campus this week.
A record 45 million Americans are expected to travel this Memorial Day weekend. Rose Meyer is driving from North Carolina to Dallas.
Gas prices, kind of figured they were going to go up a little bit before the holiday. They usually do.
But they're actually the lowest they've been for Memorial Day since 2021. Millions are flying. CBS's Karen Waz at Houston's Hobby Airport.
We talked to some travelers on and off today, and they say they have, of course, been aware of these headlines about plane malfunctions, understaffing issues, other related problems. But they say sometimes flying is just the most efficient way to get somewhere. So they're going to keep on doing it and really just hope for the best.
As the Memorial Day weekend gets underway, highs in the Northeast are only in the 50s. Reporter James Rojas is in Boston.
There are those who refuse to touch the thermostat after cold months, quote, are over.
No, it's fine. I actually still open my window up. I keep them open. I need that breeze.
And then there are those who just can't even with the frigid temperature, cranking up the heat the moment they need to.
Way too cold. The windows just don't absorb the wind.
I had to bring back my winter jacket. That was not fun. It sucks. Summer's it's supposed to be summer.
A Paris court has found the ringleader and 7 other people guilty in the 2016 robbery of Kim Kardashian. Some of them will serve prison time. 2 other defendants were acquitted. Move over, Mission Impossible. Make way for Lilo and Stitch.
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
The live-action Lilo and Stitch movie has made $14.5 million, the most for a preview this year, and ahead of the new Mission Impossible movies, $8.3 million in previews. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Arrests in a deadly Seattle mass shooting. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. In Auburn, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on State Route 18 eastbound at Weyerhaeuser Way. You're backed up to I-5. You're also jammed on 18 at the Tiger Mountain Summit up to I-90 due to construction. Construction and holiday travel has you slow on I-5 southbound along JBLM. You're backed up from the Lewis Army Museum up to State Route 512 and then on 512 past Steel Street South. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Get whole house cooling and heating from one ultra-efficient new heat pump and save up to $6,000 and take 18 months to pay.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police say 2 suspects are in custody in a deadly mass shooting in Pioneer Square last weekend. 3 people were killed outside a club. 1 was critically wounded. Witnesses telling KIRO 7 TV.
I just heard rapid gunshot fires. Brrr, bah, 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 bah. And then it was over just like that.
The SPD says a SWAT team arrested the suspects at an apartment building in South Seattle last night. A 3rd person was picked up on a warrant. A 25 and 24-year-old are expected in court in this case at 2 this afternoon. Opening statements today in the trial of the driver accused of crashing into and killing a Washington state trooper. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live from the Snohomish County Courthouse. Luke?
Yeah, prosecutors told juries this morning Trooper Christopher Gadd was parked well off to the side of Interstate 5 in March of 2024 when the suspect, Raul Benitez Santana, hit Gadd's cruiser, and that the suspect was going 104 miles per hour at the point of impact and was impaired on alcohol and marijuana. Defense attorneys told the jury Benitez Santana signaled and accidentally merged onto the shoulder where Gadd was parked with all of his lights off. The first witness also took the stand. And when asked to describe Trooper Gadd's condition, he paused politely and asked if it was okay if he didn't because it was too upsetting to share. The trial is supposed to last some 3 weeks. We're live in Snohomish County. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A 70-year-old Port Orchard woman who got lost in the woods near her son's job site has been found. The Kitsap County Sheriff's Office says a drone equipped with an infrared light and teams of searchers combed a heavily wooded area to find her. After a medical evaluation, she returned home with family. A search by local first responders, family, and friends continues after a boat sank in Puget Sound this week. The latest from KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley.
3 people still missing in Possession Sound, men in their 20s and 60s and a woman in her 40s. A 4th on board was rescued by another boat nearby.
I cannot imagine what it'd be like to be in their shoes.
Richard Braun was out shrimping here Wednesday too, but he didn't know anything had happened until he was back on shore.
Did I see him? Was there something I might have missed?
Crews still don't know why the boat started sinking, but they say it happened about 200 feet from shore.
A small Jefferson County school district is challenging state rules on athletes. The Quilcene School Board has voted to ban transgender students from school sports. Superintendent Chris Rakedahl says the bans are illegal under Washington anti-discrimination law. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Happy Friday, Spike. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, buddy.
Happy holiday weekend to you, my friend. Yeah, buddy.
I'm excited for this day. I'm always excited for Fridays. It's one of my favorite days of the week because... One for each other and all for one. 3 amigos. That means Nate Connors joins us.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Great Connors. Welcome to the show, Nate.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure for you. Thank you
it
for
really
coming
is.
in here. We thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. You guys having a great week so far? It's
Absolutely.
the end of the week.
Yeah.
And it's a holiday weekend.
I don't want
a lot of people are doing a 3-day weekend.
I'm so torn. I don't want it to end.
Tell me why, Spike.
Because first off, we haven't had a chance to get to half the stories we wanted to get to this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Laura does a wonderful job. We all kind of bring elements to the show. When I say we all collectively, it's you and Laura. I just kind of scoot along.
Nah.
But we've got so many stories to share with the audience, with the city, and get their take on, get their input back. We don't get to half of them.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that we were trying to put the show together today. But what about we didn't get to this yesterday? We didn't go. Well, we got enough. Today's
so much more.
Today's chock full.
So much more to give. You're right. We just can't get enough.
I know. I'm talking most about working 7 days a week. What do you think?
That's great. I think you should. I think you should. Let me know how it goes.
I've always wanted to solo.
I've always wanted to work more. That's what I wanted to say on my gravestone someday.
Yeah, right?
I wish I would have worked more. Question for you guys. This is a judging question. Am I being too judgmental? And this is a real thing that I see everywhere now. And I think we have a bunch of news stories to get into. We have holiday weekend travel that we'll give you some details on. We have some of the wildest new airline seating that they're trying to do. A bunch of local stories that are really interesting, which we'll talk about. There's a invasive species that's coming into our waters, which we will discuss in a few minutes, and how they're going to get rid of it, or how they're going to try to get rid of it. It's a little sexual, so it's a strange topic. Yeah.
Hello.
But what I want to start out with, I was
at the Seattle beach.
I was at my son's baseball game last night. And I'm sitting in the back of the, all the people got there before we were last to get there. We were late. We went to the wrong field first. Whatever, it happens. So
look how early we are. No one's here.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, we must be really, really early. So we go to the wrong field. We finally find the right field, and we get there. And so we're sitting behind everyone who's already gotten the prime seating with your foldable chairs. By the way, you guys know they have foldable chairs now that have little like rockers built into them?
No.
Have you seen these?
No.
The foldable camping chair that leans back, that has a little like rocker on it with some sort of a little pressurized leg, so you can like lean back and forth, and it doesn't hurt your chair.
A collapsible rocking chair, basically.
Yes.
Foldable camping rocking chair.
Camping rocking chair.
What'll they think of next?
The world's an amazing place. Anyway, there's a lady sitting there, like many parents do these days. We're all guilty of doing it. I'm talking about like phones, looking at phones at your kids' events. I find it so distasteful. I'm so judgy about it. I would love to do it myself, because the games oftentimes are pretty boring. You understand. Every parent knows
I'm usually filming my kid at sports with my phone.
You can tell when I do the same thing.
Yeah.
We do a lot of video. Everybody does a lot of video. But you can tell because you're facing your kid.
Yeah.
When you're staring down at your lap.
Yeah.
Unless your phone has a weird camera out the top.
Yeah, that's not cool. I'm with you. I don't think that's cool.
Doesn't it feel strange, though, when you see parents who are... And there's a lady yesterday. I'm not going to say her name.
What's it rhyme with?
Well, to be honest, I don't know her name.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Rhymes with I don't know.
So I won't say it.
Okay.
To protect her identity, which I do not know. But I do know that she's a mom on our team, and her son was out on the field. The ball gets hit to him. He fields it. Great little play. Doesn't get the out. Whatever. It's the effort. They're young.
Yeah. It's
just learning how to do it.
Progress. Yeah.
He picks up the ball. He whizzes it over to first base. He makes a good stop. Gets it over to first base. Again, they're safe. Whatever. But still, it was the accomplishment of doing the thing that they've been training and learning how to do.
Yeah,
These are young kids.
It's a moment.
It's a moment. And he looks up, and he looks at his mom, like we all remember doing.
Sure. You want to see that wide-eyed wonder, look of pride?
There you go, buddy.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Nice play.
Even
Nice
when my kid
hustle.
strikes out. Even my kid, there you go, bud. Good swing. Solid swing, dude.
Yeah.
Solid swing.
Get him next time.
Totally.
Right. That's what you're there for.
She's staring down at her phone. And I'm sitting there. It's terrible. And I'm sitting there, and my wife and I are now both watching her look at her phone as her kid's making a play. And I'm just thinking to myself, am I being too judgy for judging this woman for staring at her phone? And God bless her, she might be salt of the earth. I don't really know.
It might be her fifth kid in the Little League. She's seen all the throws to first she needs to in her life. You know
you think so?
I don't know. I'm just trying to find out. I'm trying to rationalize.
Trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
The detachment.
It's unfair to the kid, though.
It's totally unfair to the kid.
Yes.
And I look down the line of parents, not just on our side. I'm looking like a lot on the other team, too, because I don't want to judge our team too harshly. I'm a home team kind of guy. So I'm looking at the other side, and all the parents are staring down at their phones. And I'm just like, there's a epidemic that has swept our nation. People are just, I don't even know what they're looking at. It's just an addiction thing. They just see it, and they go, I want to swipe there, swipe there, swipe there. Meanwhile, these lifelong memories that you're never going to get back.
Right.
Are happening in front of you, and they're just going to disappear. Pretty soon, that kid's going to be 24, and he's not going to want to talk to you. And they're going to, why don't you want to talk to me? Ironically, he won't return a call on that phone you love so much.
And he'll have a list of things. Well, it started when I was 8.
You remember when I was 8, Mom, and you missed my play?
Right.
And you were looking at your phone.
Guess what? Yeah, you're on your phone.
He's up there in a bell tower. No, sorry.
Would you guys be as judgy as I was yesterday?
I would. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I would hope that I can say I wouldn't be that parent distracted by their phone. I can't guarantee that. I mean, I think we're all have this addiction. I think we've all suffered a little bit.
You've got to make a physical decision. You got
do.
to put it out of reach.
That's also a sad statement. Is you've got to make a physical effort. The natural thing is to go to your phone. Natural thing isn't to watch your kid.
Yeah.
Natural thing isn't to be engaged in whatever moments you're in. I see people at shows all the time, and they're on their phones. It's not like they're recording the show, which is bad enough. Like you're ever going to watch, like recording a fireworks show and missing the real fireworks show because you're going to look at it on your phone. It's so much better when it's 2 inches tall. People just aren't engaged anymore. They'd rather scroll through the social media, the internets, the whole 9 yards, than live their life. And that's when it's not even your kid.
Yeah. Speaking of social media, you guys should watch us on YouTube right now. If you're not on the YouTube live page, people are loving it. Go to youtube.com, search KIRO Newsradio. Jake and Spike Live is going to pop up. Nate Connors is in studio. People love Nate.
Right.
Nate, how do you feel about people looking at their phones at kid events? Again, not filming your kid.
Right. No, I'm not into that, man. And honestly, I was thinking, I'm lucky, I guess. The groups that we're with, most parents put their phones away.
Yeah.
Again, they're just recording their kid.
Yeah, a lot of that. And the people on our team. And, maybe this lady, maybe she was editing a photo that she had just taken of her kid. You know what I mean? That's possible.
Let's say that was happening.
That's possible.
Yes.
Because I don't know if she's listening to the show.
She was sending it off to one of those instant printing apps.
There you
she
go.
might have been.
Right?
She's going to make a poster.
Right.
Like
24 by 36 of my boy chucking toward first.
It was an action shot.
Right.
Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
That's
Maybe she was sending it to Grandma and Grandpa, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
I think that's what she was doing. She sent it to Grandma and Grandpa.
That'd be nice if that was the case.
That's what she was doing.
So actually, she's a nice gal now.
No, she's not.
She's a sweetheart.
She is.
Super nice.
I think more parents should do what she was doing.
I totally agree with you.
You guys are
totally
so
right.
optimistic. Such happy guys.
I think you're totally right. Okay, are you guys doing any holiday travel? It's a 3-day weekend. It is Memorial Day, and a lot of people get out of town for Memorial Day. A lot of people stick around. 45 million people, according to AAA, will be traveling. 40 million by car. Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's by car? Why do you think so many traveling by car?
Budget, I think, probably the biggest reason.
Yep. Budget?
Yeah. I mean, it's economical. Yeah.
It is economical, but I also think it, like 4th of July weekend, a lot of people also travel. I think they have more vacation time that they're spending during that time because the kids are out of school.
Yeah.
So they're booking longer vacations. If it's just a 3-day weekend, maybe you go and do a little camping.
Within 50 miles of your residence is the
Something
average.
That's close.
Yeah, for this weekend.
Yeah. So a lot of people are traveling. 90% of those, so 40 million people will be in their cars. Gas prices.
All in front of me. They're all in front of me.
They're all right in front of you.
How do they manage to do it?
I don't know how they do it.
That's why I'm not going anywhere this weekend.
Me neither. I'm not leaving the cul-de-sac.
You guys are staying put?
Oh, yeah. You?
I love it. I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife will come up with stuff, but I'm going to try to do as little as possible.
I might venture to folk life. I don't know.
You're the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy.
I heard there was a guy going to folk life. Is it you? You're the guy?
Yeah, I got a drum.
What is when is folk life?
What is folk life?
Oh, when is folk life?
It's right now.
It's a music festival.
Memorial Day weekend. Food, music,
pot.
Yeah.
Where is it at?
Grime pot.
Seattle Center.
Oh, it's in Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always it's a Seattle tradition. If you love folk life, don't read Jason Rance's very very exculpatory piece on. Not exculpatory. That's not the right word. It's a revelation.
What's the gist of it?
It's a shadow of its former self. It's a glorified homeless encampment.
He's not wrong about a lot of that.
He's not. It's a brokenhearted take on folk life, and I don't blame Jason for having his heart broke. I think the city broke Jason's heart.
You think so?
I really do. I think lack of investment, I don't think so. I think lack of. I mean, hear me out. Lack of investment, lack of promotion, lack of caring, lack of prioritization for folk life has made it become what Jason, the picture Jason painted in his story on MyNorthwest.
He has dreams of a better time when it meant more.
Yeah, romanticizing the days of.
Is it just folk music? Is it like Peter, Paul, and Mary?
It's arts, crafts. It's counterculture life.
It's a little more grassroots. It's a grassroots bumbershoot, if you will, music-wise.
My middle school band, like orchestra, used to play it just for like a frame of reference.
Gotcha. But I thought that's what bumbershoot was, like grassroots.
Well, bumbershoot's all bands. Bumbershoot's a specifically music festival.
Folk Life Music Festival is not a music festival?
No, it's a celebration of folk life.
Yeah, and there's people selling beads and
arts, crafts, jugglers.
Yeah.
Why am I not understanding this?
What's difficult? What?
Is it a music festival or is it just a festival?
No,
it's a festival.
The third time, it's not a music festival.
Oh, it's not. There's no music.
There is, but it's not. It's not a music festival. There are. If you turn the corner, there's someone playing a banjo. If you turn another corner,
a lute.
Yeah, it's really it's
a whistle
condensed
circle. You know?
Drum circle type deal?
Yes, exactly.
And by the way, the drum circle starts at 6 tonight.
All right, time to make it. We can
Is that
have
a real
good
thing?
time. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's not just a real thing. It's the highlight of day one.
I don't think it's for me, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's
based
free,
on your
it's free
description.
admission. That's the good part. It's free admission.
You'd have to pay me to be there. And
I'd
still
say
wouldn't
take
go.
the kids, but I don't want your kids to be exposed to that kind of thing this early in life.
I wouldn't either.
Seriously, Jason's afraid to take his dog. Afraid his dog will catch. Seriously, he said my dog got a contact high. He's not wrong. And I think, and I was telling this to Nate. I think that the legalization of marijuana has taken something away from folk life.
Oh, because it used to be kind of like, hey man,
this
is cool, man.
This is cool. We're out here weeding it up, man.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It hurts it in both ways. People are staying home because they can just get high at home. And everybody at folk life is getting stoned. I mean, literally, you can't walk through there without thinking, where's the skunk trader booth at? Oh,
Yeah.
get a skunk skin coat. I've always wanted one.
But it's not skunk.
No, it's
skunky
it's
weed.
secondhand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring my kids to this. This does not sound like something my kids would.
Yeah, probably not.
Be interested in.
I
Doing.
wouldn't even bring Laura.
Yeah,
I performed at it when I was like 12.
Do you remember what you thought?
What
was your impression?
I blacked out 5 minutes after I got there.
She's like, this is a dork fest. I
The
don't like
carpet
it.
took off, started flying through the air. I don't know what was going on. What is
I
that?
was playing the French horn, so Dorkfest is accurate.
Oh, yeah.
That's sweet. That's very sweet. What is it? What am I thinking of when they have like outdoor spike your phone?
Sorry.
When they
Oh,
have a bunch of tents to set up, like a you know what I mean, like on Thursdays in a lot of small towns.
A farmer's
Like a market?
Farmer's market.
Is it like a farmer's market?
There's a section of it, yeah, certainly.
So you can buy like somebody's making like a
Yes.
like a bottle filled with colorful sand.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Tie-dye
That guy will be
shirts,
there.
homemade
Thank
tie-dye
God.
shirts.
Where do I get another colorful sand bottle?
Right.
Right.
Or various types
I need one of these. I'll take
various types
6.
of art, in air quotes, art.
Yeah.
Guy spent his whole life doing watercolors with fruit he found on the side of the road. You know the guy.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, that's Steve. He'll be there.
And then they tell you the story, man, about how they started making these. And, it's one of those events.
We should have sent Nate down as our correspondent. We should start sending Nate to stupid stuff.
Oh, that would be great.
And we could do live shots with Nate at stupid things.
Awesome.
And he could have, it would be great. I think that's a really smart
clam
idea.
stock on a beach from Ocean Shores.
I like that idea. I actually think he'd be a great correspondent.
Oh, he's
That's groovy.
Because he wears his emotions on his face.
I do.
And you'd be able to tell instantly that he's not happy he's there, but it's his job.
Right.
So he's got to be there.
Yes.
Plus, Nate's got the ability, and it's rare.
Yeah.
To be both one of us, a common man, and judgy at the same time. Right? He looks like he came with you, but then he disdains everything you're doing.
Here's how I would love to see Nate. Look, well, just imagine him like this. Yeah. You're totally right.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It's a rare quality.
It's a gift. And you can hear it in his voice. He tries to hide it, but he's not very good at hiding it.
Yeah, I know.
You know
Because
him,
he's
right?
like,
I've given up. I've given
He's
up trying to
authentic,
hide it.
man.
I would love to see Nate. We should really do this. I'm like, we're coming up with this on the fly.
Hey, man,
But
what time you going? What time do traffic reports start?
this is what we're going to have to start
At 3
doing.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, so between 1 and 3, you're ours.
He's
right?
ours.
Is that fair?
Yeah, well,
Imagine Nate in like kind of a older looking, bad fitting, not pressed at all suit. Like he's just like
I've got one of those.
It sits in the back of his car.
Yep. Sure, yeah.
And it's not
There you go.
folded nicely.
There you go.
He puts it on. We send him out to these things. He's like super annoyed to be there.
The same suit to every event.
The same thing.
Oh, yeah,
The tie is
that's
not tied.
uniform. Yeah.
Yeah. You look like it's an all-nighter, and then he's just like,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
showing up to report.
Awesome.
He's just not happy to be there.
Right.
And then he can just, we could send him to Folk Life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How long does this festival last?
All weekend.
Yeah, all weekend long.
It's a
Right,
long weekend.
right, yep.
It'll feel like a really long weekend at Folk Life.
And if you show up with a drum on your side, they think you're a performer.
You
They
really
just,
think
they
you
just
will.
usher you right up to the front row.
Right up to the front. And that's where the gold.
That's where
You're
it
going to get the
happens.
gold. For people traveling, you should know gas prices. This is really encouraging. Listen to this. Nationally, it's the lowest, according to AAA. Gas prices have not been this low since Memorial Day weekend of 2021, but when you factor in for inflation, it's the cheapest that we have paid for gas nationally since 2003. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Right on.
But not in Washington, where gas prices are up. So if you're driving around in Washington, enjoy yourself. And just know that in Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, South Carolina, Kentucky,
Gotta be cheap.
they're all paying mid-2s
Wow.
for gas.
I don't even remember the last time it was that low here.
I think I was in my teens when it was that price.
Laura was playing folk life.
Laura was at folk life.
I was headlining.
You're headlining, yeah. Yep.
Somehow they got her. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Nate's going to stick around for a little bit. Day 2 of a very important crime that needs to be solved, the case of the missing East African crowned crane. We're going to solve it for you. And we did not have great theme music yesterday. I presented you guys with 4 options. You didn't love it. Yeah. But I did build off of one of the things that you kind of liked.
Okay.
And so I have a new one for you.
We're working it, dialing it in.
We'll see if you like it. If you don't, that's fine too. All right, we'll try to solve that case when we come back with Nate Connors. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Time is running out to save during our preseason AC sale happening now at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Don't miss your chance to save 10% on a new air conditioner, heat pump, or ductless system to keep your home cool all summer long. Join thousands of satisfied customers and put your trust in the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest year after year. Hurry and call Bob's for your free AC estimate today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Before taking your next flight, you'll need to be prepared. Start off with a visit to realidwa.com.
New ID requirements for travel are here.
There are multiple forms of ID you can use.
Whatever option you choose, make sure you have it with you before heading to the airport.
That way, you can travel stress-free.
Make sure you're prepared so you can relax and enjoy your flight.
Real ID has arrived.
Visit realidwa.com.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens has given me back clear vision. The process was simple and easy. I scheduled my free consultation and discovered I was at the early stage of cataracts and a perfect candidate for RLE. They restored clarity and brightness to my vision like when I was in my 20s, and I'll never need readers again and never develop cataracts. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens are taking RLE surgery to the next level. Call them now at 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com, official eye care provider of Sounders FC.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. Boeing avoids criminal prosecution over the deadly crashes of two MAX planes about 6 years ago. The Justice Department says it's reached a tentative deal with the aerospace giant that will cost the company $1.1 billion. Boeing was accused of fraud for misleading federal regulators about the safety of a navigation system that was implicated in those crashes. Again, apparently a deal struck with the DOJ has Boeing avoiding criminal prosecution. That deal still needs to be finalized. Seattle police say two people are in custody, accused in a Pioneer Square shooting that left 3 people dead and 1 critically wounded last weekend. At a South Seattle apartment last night, SWAT teams arrested the suspects as well as a third person on an outstanding warrant. Officers say they recovered several firearms as well as evidence. New tariff threats. President Trump posting on social media today he'll slap a 25% tax on Apple iPhones if they're not made in the U.S. And CBS's Olivia Rinaldi adds.
Today, the president taking aim at the European Union in a True Social post. He wrote that they have been very difficult to deal with. He said their discussions with them are going nowhere and said, therefore, I'm recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union starting on June 1.
President Trump's budget plan now heads to the U.S. Senate after passing the U.S. House. But as KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports, there are questions about what it would do to Medicaid.
According to Governor Bob Ferguson and other healthcare workers in our state,
if adopted, at least 200,000 Washingtonians would lose their healthcare coverage by the end of next year.
Emphasis on the potential.
Washington GOP Chair Jim Walsh says Governor Ferguson's claims on the impacts of this bill are exaggerated.
What the Trump administration is doing is surgically removing waste and corruption in the system.
Give me a break. Is for tax breaks for the wealthiest Americans.
A record 45.1 million Americans are expected to travel this Memorial Day weekend, most of them hitting the road. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin has more from the WashDOT Traffic Management Center.
WashDOT says the busiest times to travel, especially on I-5, US 2, and I-90 can vary, but for today, you can expect the worst traffic this afternoon. They tell us almost all construction sites across the state are paused today through Monday. That way nobody gets held up. And a heads up for anybody taking those toll bridges and tunnels tunnels, the 520 bridge and 99 tunnel, those are going to be weekend fares in effect on Monday. However, the 405 express lanes will be free and open to everybody.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 204 points, NASDAQ off 150. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, a crash briefly blocked 2 lanes on I-5 northbound near 54th Avenue East. You are pump and brake still along the 5 curve. In Auburn, a disabled vehicle blocking a lane on State Route 18 eastbound to Weyerhaeuser Way. You're backed up to I-5. Construction and holiday travel has you slow on I-5 southbound along JBLM. You are backed up from the Lewis Army Museum up to State Route 512. You're also slow heading through Lacey and Olympia. Traffic brought to you by Kia of Everett. At Kia of Everett, they make the process of buying a new Kia as exciting as it is driving it home. The best drive you'll ever make is to Kia of Everett. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. Right now, it's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. If you're not watching live, you should be. You should be enjoying not just our voices, but also our faces. You can do that on YouTube. Go to youtube.com in the search bar, type in KIRO News Radio. And then the Jake and Spike show live will pop up.
Yep.
People are loving it, and they're talking about it. A lot of stuff to get to. Nate, I don't know if you've heard about this. A couple stories that you should know about. You listen to the show? I'm sure you do.
Your show?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
It wasn't a yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that or not. It wasn't a yes.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yes.
Wait a minute. Are you putting us off?
No.
Definitive yes.
Thank you. Definitive.
Yeah. Don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Come on now.
Did you know that Spike and I solved crimes?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
You did know that.
Started with the donkey.
Case of the missing mini donkeys.
Yes.
You've read about it.
See, no, I listen.
You listen to the show?
Yes.
Okay. Case of the missing Liberty Bell.
Mm-hmm. Right.
People, that's one of our hits. And then the case of the missing East African crown crane from the.
You found it?
No. We're on the. We're on the case.
You're on it. Okay.
Yeah, we're on the case.
So that means you're going to find it.
We're going to find it.
The way your track record is.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
We'll employ the resources and deductive skills that we bring to the table. And it usually leads to a successful conclusion.
It usually does lead.
I mean, yeah.
So where is this bird?
There are no guarantees.
Well, this bird escaped in Issaquah. I was at the Cougar Mountain Zoo in Issaquah, and it escaped. But before we get to the details on it, because it's day 2 of the hunt, people are still looking for it. We're still looking for it. We're on the case, obviously. I played a couple of crime-solving duo songs from yesterday. No, nothing really jumped off the page. People didn't really love them.
Crime-solving songs?
Theme song. Good detectives have theme songs.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Theme
Okay.
songs.
Yeah.
Theme songs. So I got another one for us to try today. You can let us know on the text line, 888-973-5476, or in the chat section of the YouTube live page. But I want your guys' opinion on this one. Nate, give us your judgment on this. This is the crime-solving duo song, Jake and Spike. This is a little more snappy. I was told to make it a little more snappy.
Like Dragnet. Think Dragnet. Something like that.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Dragnet would have been smart.
Well, it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
We're workshopping it, yeah.
We'll try that day.
There's a lot of mysteries in this area.
There is a lot of mysteries.
Our services are going to be needed on a continuous basis.
When we're not here on the radio, we're out
You're out there,
we're solving crimes.
Sure.
Gumshoes.
Yep. Chasing ghosts.
Boom.
Catching people. Absolutely.
Finding bells.
Yeah, whatever the problem is.
Tiny donkeys.
You bet.
Let me hear. Here we go. Here's some audio. I present to you our song.
Nice.
This is snappier.
Jake and Spike in the moonlight haze.
What?
Cigars and whiskey in a smoky maze. Clues on the wind, they catch the scent. Every shadow whispers where the time went. Snap those fingers as the rhythm flows. The duo's got secrets only they know. Footsteps echo on the midnight street. Jake and Spike with danger and mystery meet.
I love it.
Chase the trail in a table.
Wait, hold on. I got a question.
One with a fedora.
Oh, listen to this, bro. This is funny.
Jake and Spike wear mystery meat or with mystery meat? Because that really
that's a good
troubled
question.
me.
With Jake and Spike with mystery meat?
Midnight street, Jake and Spike with danger and mystery meat.
Mystery meat.
Where danger and mystery meat? Okay, that's fine.
One with a fedora, the other's a brute. The city hums with the low.
One with a fedora, the other's a brute.
A brute.
I'll let you work that equation out.
They're lit sharper than the edge of the moon.
Are we closer to the target?
We're closer to the.
I like that.
We need brevity.
We need to compress
This
it.
is
You're
an
right.
AI. This is an AI generated, and AI is all what you give it to work with.
Yep.
That's the beauty of AI. You get good information in, good results out the backside.
Absolutely.
Much like an East African crown crane.
Good results.
Right. What
Good
goes
results
in
out
the
the
front,
backside.
out the back comes results.
That's our
right?
show motto. Good
Yeah.
results out the backside.
Right.
It's ridiculous. The East African crown crane. I don't know if you know much about it, Nate. You know much about that bird?
Yes, I do. I know they're endangered.
Nate, you know what's interesting about this? Most people don't know this about this. Nate's a birder.
Oh, yeah.
Nate follows birds
Really?
around. Nate chases birds around. He takes pictures
look at
of
me.
them.
Look at me.
Right. How did I not come to that?
Right. It's obvious.
Where's my deductive skills there?
Right, detective.
Nate, I don't want to
nerve.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not because you are a birder.
Right.
Tell us all about the East African crown crane.
Well, they can grow up to about 3 feet tall. They get rather big.
No.
And
It's a
actually,
big bird.
yes,
So
it
this
is.
would
It's
be
a big
juvenile.
bird.
This is a juvenile that's missing.
Oh, it's a juvie.
Well,
How young?
No, given your parameters, your knowledge
Yeah.
of the species.
I haven't seen a
I'm
picture
looking
of
at.
it.
There's a photo on mynorthwest.com.
Okay.
And that's the thing. It's getting the word out.
We got a picture on the YouTube
Yeah, there
right
you
now.
go, right there. That's it.
Look at that. Wow.
Beautiful. So
That's a beautiful
Imagine
bird.
a feathered covered bowling pin.
Yeah.
Standing on tall legs.
You're right.
And at the head is a beautiful crested crown.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
That's a handsome bird.
It is.
Yep.
Look at those legs.
I know.
Right.
Strong legs.
Strong legs.
My,
He's got
oh
a
my.
regal neck.
And you can see from the trail of excrement on the rock it's standing on.
He's been there a while.
He's a healthy bird. Right now, it's a healthy bird.
What's our show motto again? Good clean stuff coming out the rear end.
Right, quality results at the back end.
Well, the good thing is out in Cougar Mountain, if it's still in that Lake Sammamish area, it's in its good environment. It's used to that environment.
Well, no, it's from East Africa. That makes
Yeah,
no
well,
sense at all.
no,
I thought you were a birder.
Hold on. It's from tropical Africa, subtropic Africa.
Again,
Between
makes
the tropics.
no sense.
No,
This
that's
is Snoqualmie.
Well,
what I mean
here's
is it's got the tall grass,
Right.
water, fish. These are things that
Yeah.
the crane will survive
and
on.
this
And
time
looks
of year,
to-
the
looks to
climate
eat.
is similar to
little frogs.
tropical Africa.
It likes little frogs.
What? We're not like tropical Africa.
At this time of year, warm, wet weather. We're there. I mean, if in February, this poor guy got his chance in the wild.
Well,
in December,
but
February.
you got to find him before the winter hits.
That's what I'm saying. He's okay for now.
Ah, okay.
Now the last known location was Lake Sammamish State Park.
Lake Sammamish.
Oh.
That picture
Okay.
we just took
Right.
of him, yeah.
So, given the fact that they just opened up the new light rail line,
Oh, man.
right? This thing could be in downtown Redmond by now, right?
Could be.
Shopping locally.
Yeah.
Right?
Although nobody would see him because nobody rides that train.
Uh-oh.
Right, well,
He's the
except-
only one
except
on it.
this bird.
Except
And
this
since they're
bird.
not checking fares, there's a good chance that this thing wandered on and is now shopping locally in Redmond.
He shot and intentionally.
Let's just expand
He's shopping
the circle.
intentionally in Redmond. You're right.
There you go.
Mystery solved.
Mystery-
Well,
Another
we're
mystery
just-
solved.
it's not
Just getting the
yet.
facts out to the people.
It's
Yeah.
not going to be solved until we put a some sort of a leash on this thing, get him back to the Cougar Mountain Zoo.
To the safe confines.
To the safe confines
Right.
of the Cougar Mountain Zoo. If you do happen to hear this, though, I will give you a clue. Nate's a birder, so I'm going to give you a clue.
Yep.
There's two. I'm going to play you a local crane, and I'm going to play you an East African crown crane.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I want you to tell me which is which.
Oh,
because
easy.
again, you know your birds.
Yes,
All
I
right.
do.
Is this local or is this the East African crown crane? I'm going to
Hit
play
me.
you 2 clips. Here we go. All right, this is
Okay.
example 2. Here we go.
That's the East African crane right there.
Good golly, this
Yeah,
guy
it's
knows
good.
his birds.
Yep.
I was so hoping you had Kelsey Grammer as a local crane. This is Fraser Crane. I'm listening.
That would have been really funny.
That would have been good.
That would have required some
forethought.
preparation.
Forethought.
Hey, good call though. So if it's a very recognizable sound.
Yeah, play that
It's a
again
very
for the
recognizable
folks
sound.
in our audience who are
It sounds
looking
like
for
somebody
this.
Different than
choking
most
on
birds in the area.
On a horn or something. Here it is. East African crown
Mm.
crane.
Oi. That's the sound of an East African crown crane hailing a light rail train.
There you go.
There it is. Do you want to hear 2 of them? This is the sound of them in a mating ritual.
Oh, not really, but I mean,
You want to hear it?
Seems kind of private, but go
Mine
ahead.
is. I mean, you
Kinda-
might
It's
hear
for
it.
science
Kinda
and for
perverse.
finding this bird and bringing it home to
Science.
safety.
All right, this is 2 of them. One of them is pursuing the other. East African crown crane. Yikes!
We should not have opened that door.
It's a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
Now, is that the
Oh,
crane
boy.
or is that the bed?
No, stop. Oh Lord! How long does this last?
Oh, they go for a long time.
The
Them
cougars
cranes.
in the next enclosure are banging on the fence.
Get a cage, you two.
Keep it down over there. Trying to hibernate.
That's sick. You're sick.
Well, I hope you guys find him over the weekend. That'd be awesome.
We're gonna find him. We're gonna find him for sure. We'll get him. We'll get him. All right.
I'm missing something.
All right, speaking of animals.
Yeah.
This is wild. I have another wild story for you. What these scientists are trying to do to get rid of these invasive green crabs.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's got to do. And again, they're using their mating rituals.
I don't know if I'm
to
ready
get
for
rid of
this
these
next
local
story.
green crabs.
I don't know if I can.
They're not local. No, they're invasive. They're not even from here.
Okay.
Focus. We'll be right back.
Focus.
We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, winners of 3 2025 Regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey live in Linwood.
Bunch of tall trees in a wooded area just off of Alderwood Mall Parkway.
And we thank you.
We are the Northwest leading news station because of you, inspiring us every day to deliver the local news and stories you care about.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
When the heat's in 11, cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Beat the rush. Act now before summer, because that heat's a real bummer.
Dayandnight.net.
Even though our Northwest summers can be spectacular, there's always a long, hot stretch that makes everyone say, man, AC sure would be nice. Well, except for that one annoying friend who won't stop talking about how great his AC is. Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. You can stay comfortably cool when those hot temps arrive. This is the time to plan ahead and call us about installing a high-efficiency AC or heat pump. Or if you have an existing system, we'll come and service it. Make sure it's running efficiently and ready to cool when you need it.
Before the summer heat wave, keep your house cool and save.
Dayandnight.net.
Save up to $6,000 on qualifying cooling equipment, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Don't sweat it out this summer. Stay cool with Day and Night.
Dayandnight.net.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. IRGPT.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Say hello to summer and savings with your very own saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Through May 26th, get special pricing and interest-free financing till 2030. More at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
If it's time for a new bath, go with a name you can trust. Bathfitter Northwest. Bathfitter is the original one-day bath remodeler. Now get 0% interest for 24 months. Call the people I trust to do the job right, Bathfitter, or visit bathfitternw.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are really lucky to have with us Nate Connors.
Yes, sir.
He's the third amigo today.
Happy anniversary.
And every Friday. He's the third amigo every Friday.
Did you catch that? Happy anniversary.
Of what?
You, brother. Jake Skorheim. 10-year anniversary at KIRO Newsradio today.
Today is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on the coffee
Goodness,
machine.
that's double digits.
You didn't see the post on the coffee machine?
I did not see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, and it's Mad Dog Markovich's birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Thank you for a decade.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. Try to act surprised when the party happens later.
I will. Absolutely.
Well, the party was
Thanks a lot,
yesterday,
Nate.
actually.
Oh, was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was a surprise party, you see? You always throw it the day before.
There you go. Oh, that's how you do it. And the fact that we didn't bring up Jake's name at all.
No, then
really
you wait
sealed
for
the
today.
surprise.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Thank you, guys. That's nice. Well, I hope everybody had a good time. Let's see here. Oh, this is great. Nate, I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you.
People don't know this about you, but you make a study of crustaceans.
I do
on
a
your
lot.
weekends.
Yep.
You are a carcinologist, which is a person who studies crabs.
Obviously.
So this story is going to be old hat for you. You probably already know this, but we have an invasion in our waters. I don't know if you guys heard about this. We have an invasion of European green crabs.
Well, how would that get over here?
European green crab. I don't know. It's a long walk for these crabs.
It is.
Some sort of a boat,
Because they're going
maybe.
sideways most of the time, so it takes forever.
It takes forever, yeah. But they finally made it, and they got here, and they love the waters, and they love the, I guess, what do they eat?
What are they
here?
eating here?
They eat the seaweed. That's what they eat. They eat a bunch of tiny little fish. They eat oysters, which is a big problem.
Oh, there you go.
They have big appetites, and so they're doing. They eat a massive amount of foods. Yeah, crabs of all ages. They eat native eel grass. They threaten the native eel grass, which provides habitat for salmon and other fish. And they also eat a lot of oysters.
Yeah, I think probably the oyster is the concern around here.
Yeah, they eat juvenile Pacific oysters.
Yeah, we can't have that.
No, you got to wait till they're bigger.
It's a $200 million industry.
Yeah,
Wow.
that they're ruining.
Heather Bosch did a nice piece on this. You can check it out at mynorthwest.com if you want to get all the details on this. It's an invasive species. It's no joke here.
It is no joke, although we are joking about it, but it is no
That's
joke.
what we do. We just bring you the news and make it a little more palatable.
Well, listen to this, though. Listen to how science is amazing. And Nate, you know this as a
scientist.
They're using...
Carcinologist. I learned that today from you
Right.
guys. You guys are amazing.
I almost said volcanologist, but that's not right.
Well, I'm
That's
too.
Leonard Nimoy. That's different.
That's true.
It's a study of Leonard Nimoy.
Listen to this. They're trapping these crabs using their own sexual instincts against them.
Oh,
Seem
God.
kind of like nefarious for them
Oh,
to do.
boy, okay.
That seem horrible? Sexual instincts to trap these crabs?
That seems dirty, underhanded.
It seems dirty and underhanded. That's
Yeah.
right. WSU this summer is looking forward to looking at an attractive sex pheromone. Is there any other kind? To remove male crabs from the bay. They said that they could lure the unwitting crabs into traps or disrupt their mating cycle by using their own pheromones against them. How are they even going to do that? Unbelievable.
They're going to use the Bugs Bunny technology. Dressing a crab up.
Is that when like Bugs Bunny would dress up as a
girl crab? Yeah,
sexy,
got a girl crab. Yeah, and lure them into the trap.
A blonde bombshell version.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work. It might.
Worked on TV.
These crabs, they're tough to tell the difference. Have you guys ever caught crabs? Have you ever gone out and crab fished?
I have been.
Not crab fish. Have you ever crabbed?
Yeah, they're easy
crab fish doesn't make sense.
You go crabbing.
Right.
I was raised on the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay, so you know crabbing.
I know crabbing.
The only way to tell if it's male or female, you got to flip them over.
Flip them over.
There's like there's a thing on there.
It's called an apron.
An apron.
Yeah. Called an apron.
You flip over their apron?
The crab has an apron on the underside.
Clearly, that's a female one.
Males have a shorter apron with a long protruding center.
A long protruding center, yeah.
And the females have a much broader, like almost a semicircular apron underneath.
That's right.
And you're supposed to, but at least
you've got to throw the females back.
Because for reproductive, that's right.
Same here
that's
in Washington waters.
Yes.
You're supposed to.
That's
but
how
these
you do
green
it.
crabs, they're doing something totally different. Science is amazing. They're going to use these pheromones. I don't know how they're going to extract it. They might dress one up as a female version.
Female crab, right? Blonde wig.
That would make sense.
Right?
You'd think they would just find an attractive female to do that. I don't know why they dress up a guy
it's hard
crab.
to tell what's attractive to a male crab. They all have the tastes are different for all species.
People
right?
don't speak the language either, so that's a problem.
They've pulled 1.2 million of these crabs already.
It's not enough
out of our waterways.
What?
And there's still 1.2 million of these little green European crabs
using this sex thing, the sex trap.
No,
these little perverts.
They were just going in and just harvesting these things out.
Well, you know what? It makes sense because one of these female crabs can lay 185,000 eggs.
This guy's a carcinologist. He knows.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is. So that's why a million doesn't sound. That's a lot, but
that's like 4 crabs.
Yeah.
Okay,
right?
just
pulled 4
big
crabs
afternoon. They put out 1.2 million. I seem impressed, but Nate knows better. It's a drop in the bucket.
We thought they were being successful, but they're not.
No, they got. It's why they got to do extreme measures.
So
of,
if we find them, we can just kill them, right? Isn't that what they're saying here?
You have to destroy them, right?
Destroy them. Yeah.
Well, no. Somehow I don't know how you're supposed to do it, but you're supposed to figure out how to get the male pheromone out and use that to attract other. I don't know how it works.
To lure them into the trap and destroy them.
Get a crab pot. Throw a little can of cat food. Yes,
you betcha. Or chicken parts.
Bam.
Yeah. And they'll do it. Okay. Well, it's good to know.
The problem is you're trying to make sure you don't get the local indigenous Dungeness crab in those pots. You have to get just the little greens.
I can't eat any of them. I'm allergic to shellfish.
If they're European crabs.
I can't have them
Put
either.
really bad food in there. Boil the food first, tasteless, and put it because that's what Europeans love.
That's true.
Tasteless boiled food.
That's absolutely true.
That's right.
Nate Connors.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Three Amigos Friday. We look forward to it.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah,
we will. We have a lot more coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic is your best plan for long-term well-being and personalized health care. Dr. Mixon, let me ask you a question. How long have some of your patients been working with you?
We've got patients now that have been with us for over 20 years that are in their 90s who came to us in their 60s. The grandparents now in their 90s are living independently. They're not on walkers. They're not on canes. They're not headed for nursing homes.
I meet people and they ask about, wow, you're in great shape. You have 12% body fat and stuff. What's the secret? I said, it's not a secret. Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for 25 years. There is no secret to the fact that if you make those small changes, you avoid the big, bad, horrible stuff that most of us just think, well, this is what's supposed to happen to me.
And if you're heading downhill and you don't change your direction, you're going to continue going downhill. And what we do at Longevity is we redirect you and we take you back up the hill.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible considerable amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I've always been an athletic guy, but after turning 40, I noticed I was slowing down. I booked a free testosterone check with Revive Health and learned that low T doesn't just impact my performance in the bedroom. I've been following a custom treatment plan ever since, and today I'm feeling stronger and more confident than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMensHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMensHealth.com/privacy policy. For info on how opt-in info will be used and terms and conditions at ReviveMensHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Michael Wallace. The president is planning more tariffs.
President Trump singled out Apple in a social media post, but in the Oval Office clarified he's putting a 25% tariff on all foreign-made smartphones.
It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product.
As he signed executive orders on nuclear power plants, the president also pledged 50% trade tariffs on imported goods from the European Union.
It was formed in order to hurt the United States, in order to take advantage of the United States.
And echoing his social media statements, Trump said products made in the U.S. will face 0 tariffs. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Polish Trade Minister Michael Baranowski thinks Trump's tariff threat is just a bargaining ploy.
Another step in our negotiations that, in the end, I truly hope will result in a good agreement, good that is balanced and fair for both sides.
But Trump says he's not looking to deal with the EU. He's set on 50% tariffs. The Justice Department has reached a tentative deal with Boeing to dismiss criminal fraud charges over its 737 MAX jets, 2 of which were involved in deadly crashes. Boeing would be allowed to withdraw its guilty plea and pay $1.1 billion to avoid a trial. Angry families who lost loved ones say the Justice Department is not working in the public interest. Prosecutors say they may seek the death penalty for the man charged with murdering 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington. David Goldenberg is with the Anti-Defamation League.
The deadly shooting of Sarah and Yaron is the latest example of how anti-Semitic hate, fueled by extreme anti-Israel rhetoric and movements, is escalating in the real world and into real-world violence.
It's a day of remembrance for George Floyd, who was killed by a Minneapolis police officer 5 years ago.
Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd.
Those gathering in George Floyd Square held a moment of silence today. CBS's Chris Van Cleve says if you're traveling this Memorial Day weekend, expect a lot of company.
The bottom line here, leave yourself some extra time as you're heading to the airport. When you look to come back, if you're driving, AAA says either during the day, early on Monday, or Monday night would be your best times to find the least amount of traffic.
AAA predicts a record 45 million Americans will travel this weekend. Billy Joel is canceling all his scheduled concerts. The 76-year-old rocker has a rare brain disorder that's impairing his hearing, vision, and balance. He says he looks forward to returning to the stage. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Boeing avoids a criminal trial over deadly MAX crashes. Reaction next. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Seattle, a crash is blocking all southbound lanes of East Marginal Way South at South Spokane Street. Steer clear of that. In Auburn, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on State Route 18 eastbound at Weyerhaeuser Way. You're backed up to I-5. Construction and holiday travel has you slow on I-5 southbound along JBLM. You're backed up from the Lewis Army Museum up to State Route 512. You're also pumping brakes through Lacey and Olympia. Travel time Tacoma to Olympia, 1 hour, 40 minutes. That's 40 longer than it typically would be. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO News Radio, continuing coverage.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. Boeing avoids criminal prosecution over the deadly crashes of two MAX planes about 6 years ago.
The Department of Justice is entering what's called a non-prosecution agreement. It's beyond the sweetheart deal.
That's attorney Mark Lindquist, who represents families of the crash victims. Boeing has agreed to pay $1.1 billion in fines, safety investments, and a fund for crash victims. Boeing was accused of fraud for misleading federal regulators about the safety of a navigation system that was implicated in the deadly crashes. The deal still needs to be finalized. Two people are expected in court this afternoon, accused in a Pioneer Square shooting that left 3 people dead and 1 critically wounded last weekend. Witnesses at the time telling KIRO 7 TV.
I just heard rapid gunshot fires. Brrr, bah, 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 and then it was over just like that.
At a South Seattle apartment last night, SWAT teams arrested the suspects as well as a third person on an outstanding warrant. Officers say they recovered several firearms as well as evidence. Opening statements today in the trial of the man accused of killing a Washington state trooper in Marysville last year. More from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Prosecutors told jurors Trooper Christopher Gadd was parked well off to the side of Interstate 5 in March of 2024 near Marysville when the suspect, Raul Benitez Santana, hit Gadd's cruiser. And they also said the suspect was going 104 miles per hour at the point of impact and was impaired, alcohol and marijuana. Defense attorneys told the jury Benitez Santana signaled and accidentally merged onto the shoulder where Gadd was parked with all of his lights off. In Snohomish County, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're heading into a holiday weekend, and it is already busy at SeaTac Airport. Michelle Ogden is traveling and has this advice.
Absolutely. I'm getting to the airport a little bit early because last time I was there, the security lines were down by where I was checking my bags, so that's why I'm getting there a few hours early.
AAA predicts more than 45 million Americans will travel by air or road. Now, it is a holiday weekend, but be aware Jean Coulon Beach in Renton and Kirkland's Juanita Beach, they're both closed because of high levels of bacteria. You'll want to keep your family members, including your pets, out of the water, which could make you sick. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. It's Friday. We always have a lot of fun on a Friday. People love it. They're talking about it. I'm Jake Skorheim. This is Spike O'Neill.
Happy Friday weekend, my friend.
Diligently working, making sure the show sounds and looks good. Let me ask you guys a question. When's the last time you went up in the Space Needle? Laura, when's the last time you went up in the... You always have friends and family coming to town.
Yeah.
You do it. You play tourist a lot.
I was there pretty recently, last summer. Gorgeous.
evening sunset time. We
Oh.
did a little cocktail happy hour.
Beautiful.
Walked around with our little glasses of wine.
Up there.
Oh, yeah.
Observation
at the
deck.
very top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
observation deck level. Yeah,
That's
and
nice.
that was since they did the glass floor and the expanded
Yeah.
view areas. Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
my question. Have you been there since the $100
renovation.
million renovation that they've done? And
It's-
we're not
it's
getting any
good.
points for talking about this. I just saw this in the news. I was interested.
Well, yeah, no points given. It's good.
It's good.
The renovation is incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not great with heights. I enjoy the glass floor thing. It's not too scary.
Not me.
No?
I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't walk across it.
really.
I would look at it. It only takes one crack.
No, I don't mean. I'm not passing judgment. A lot of people feel that way. Very uncomfortable with it.
I've seen videos online. I don't think they have this in the Space Needle. You can tell me, Laura, but it's actually a video screen that you're walking on, made to look like you're walking on a glass floor, and then there'll be like a crack that will pop up, but it's just a video. Have you seen these?
I would die.
Have you seen these?
No.
They happen in. I see them in China a lot. They do them as practical jokes.
Oh, so there's like a disaster game you play as you walk across the screen you think is a floor. It cracks open and the abyss opens beneath you.
Yes.
People pay for this?
Well, no, they don't know that. They just think they're going to some sort of an observation deck, but it's actually a floor. And this is not the Space Needle. This is just something
Yeah.
I've seen online.
Thanks for the clarity.
But the floor is a video that you think is real, and you think you're looking straight down, and then a video makes it look like it's about, and then it's terrifying. Terrifying. So that would be my fear. But people are apparently not having this experience when they go on the Space Needle, and that's not at all related. And I'm not saying that that's what's happening.
I'd be livid. I'd sue. I wouldn't.
If you went to one of these things, yeah.
And then surprise me with a near death experience or a perception of a near death experience.
I saw one at where did I see it at? I don't know. It was someplace in China.
It's like going into a porta potty and all of a sudden it's an escape room.
Yeah.
Surprise is on you, right?
Yeah.
Good luck getting out of there.
Yeah. It was cruel to these poor
horrible.
tourists.
And the Space Needle would never do that.
They would never do that. No, they're
a trusted friend.
Upstanding
Yeah.
establishment. They do have a new glass elevator. Have you guys seen this? The new glass elevator that they have, a double-decker elevator starting today, actually. It's called the Skyliner. Do you guys know about this?
Saw pictures of this in the news story.
Do we have pictures we can put up on the YouTubes there, Laura? I think we might. It's double-decker. Let's see here. It's the first, the Skyliner facing the Queen Anne neighborhood's the first of 3 elevators to be installed in the Space Needle. This was in Seattle Times. That's the Space Needle itself. Is that okay, so yeah, you see the double-decker glass elevator.
There it is, yes.
They say that there's 200% more window viewing space, 200% more glass than its predecessor, which were called were they called the eggs? What were those things called before?
I don't know. They had a specific name.
I think they had a name.
And this is the Skyliner?
Skyliner. Yep.
Yeah, I think this is 2 things I think about this. First off, it's long overdue.
Gold cabs. They call them gold cabs.
Okay, gold cabs.
Yeah, they still look like gold to me, though.
Yeah, but they did was it used to be a very limited window that was maybe a third of the front of the
Just the
of
front.
elevator. Yeah,
So you might back up against the back. You have no view.
A lot of people didn't want to be part of that, but if you wanted to, there was always a crowd at the window, and oftentimes you'd be jockeying for viewage, right? Especially if people from out of town.
Sure.
I love this is long overdue that they first off expanded the scope of the viewing windows.
Yeah.
They doubled that. Look at that. That's nothing like if you've ever ridden this before the renovation. It's nothing like this was available before.
Yeah, this is really quite beautiful. We're looking at pictures right now if you're watching us on youtube.com.
And they stacked 2 of them together.
Which is genius because
yes.
those lines are so long. The worst part about going to the Space Needle is waiting forever and ever and ever in that long line to get on 2 tiny elevators that we're all using.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's I'm glad they spent the money to renovate because it's been open since what? What's this? 1960s World's Fair.
62.
62
Yep,
World's
Space
Fair.
Needle,
It opened
62
up.
World's Fair.
This was the big draw, and you got to make it interesting. You got to give people a reason to go up there. You got the restaurant. You got the viewing area.
Well, either
the
growing or
sunset
dying.
cocktail
That's it.
sounds
Yes.
fantastic. I like that idea. It is really high. If you're afraid of heights, it may not be the thing for you, but.
Have you ever been offered? You wouldn't do this, obviously, because of your heights situation. Have you ever been offered the opportunity to go out there and walk on the roof?
I have not.
I've got so many friends. We work in media. I've been doing this for a long time. I've got so many friends who've been given the opportunity to go up there for special occasions.
Where you hook onto a thing.
Yeah, you hook onto a thing. It's completely safe. You got a wire. You're cabled on. But they go up there and they're because you can go all the way to the top, of course, for maintenance and various events. Change the flag, which do on a regular basis.
Yeah, the 12 flag is often up there.
You go up there and you get to walk around on the upper roof of that. If we could guarantee your safety, you're cabled on. Could you do that?
To walk on the roof?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. With a safety. If I had a line tied on, if I'm tethered to something,
and no one goes up there without proper safety. No, they wouldn't dare. They love the media. They're respectful. They're professionals.
Let's get on up there. Yeah. Worst case scenario, we send you, and you can call me from the top.
I think we should get you to overcome your fear of heights, and do this. We should reach out to folks at the Space Needle.
I feel like God gave me a fear of heights for a reason. Because he doesn't want me up high.
Interesting.
He gave me
that's
2 feet,
common sense survival?
Squarely on the ground.
Okay. All right,
My head sometimes is in the clouds, but that's a lovable trait.
That's how you have dreams.
That's how you have dreams.
And goals.
But I actually need to be up high to realize those dreams? No, I don't.
Okay.
But I could try it, maybe.
Well, okay. We should reach out to the folks at Space Needle.
Yeah.
Next time they have an event where they want some promotion and we have the opportunity to spread their word, right? Like we're doing now for the sky. What do you call it? I'm blowing. This is how I lose opportunities. Skyliner. Thank you.
This is how I lose opportunities.
Right.
I don't remember
promoting
the
whatchamacallit at the what's its face.
Yeah.
The Skyliner double-decker elevator at the Space Needle. The latest.
We should.
Greatest.
I'm afraid that they're actually going to take you up on your offer. So let's move off this topic.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to take you up.
Don't look over the edge.
But they might. Okay. We'll see what happens. If they give us the opportunity to go up there and walk around, we might do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Maybe just you and Laura go, and you can Zoom me from the top. How about that? That'd be neat. That'd be kind of a fun thing. You could Zoom me from the top.
Get a green screen and do it.
I'll be back here, just sitting in the studio eating donuts. A little more my speed, but we'll see what happens. All right. Have you guys seen this? Speaking of heights, this is wild. Let's put these pictures up, Laura. There is new airline seating arrangements coming to a plane near you. Air travel has we got to talk about air travel for a second.
Okay.
When I was growing up, and I would watch on movies, specifically movies in the 1960s or 50s. Air travel was the most luxurious, high class. Didn't matter if you were sitting coach or first class. Nope. It was high class.
Yeah.
Because it's like ironic because you're up high in the clouds, but it really was.
I hadn't put that together.
It was high class travel.
Yeah.
They're walking down with a cart. Stewardesses always look good.
Right.
They're walking down the cart with like some beef they're going to shave off of something for you.
Carving
station.
The heat lamp.
Right. Somebody's drinking a fancy cocktail.
Yep.
The guy next to you is smoking a Virginia Slim.
Yep. Using real silverware.
Right. It was a classy event.
It was. And people dressed appropriately.
Also, people didn't dress in pajamas.
Right. They looked like Sunday go to church clothes.
It was the coolest thing. We should find pictures of old school travel, Laura, because those are happy things to look at. Like you watch Catch Me If You Can. Have you seen Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah, of course.
Or you watch any of these old movies in the 1960s.
Yeah.
You go up at like the double decker of like an old 747, the lounge.
Oh.
I've been up in one of those lounges before on an old 747.
Yeah.
They're very cool. They don't really use them anymore. They don't have them.
I did once on international travel. I got the
twisty stairs?
Yeah.
Isn't it unreal?
It is. It's another world.
It's a whole nother world. Like you think it's good just flying on a cool big plane. Yeah. It's way cooler up there. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, because at the time, air travel used to be a little more, I don't want to say exclusive, but
well, no, it was very expensive.
It wasn't. It was expensive, and it wasn't for the everyman. And to the airline's credit, they made air travel much more. The barrier of entry was lowered. More people, everyday folks, can fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Except that the problem is, as you let in the masses, you've let in the masses.
You've also let in a lot of people, and they're saying like, how do we make it cheaper? How do we make it? How do we arrange these seats in such a way?
They want to be. You've made it so uncomfortable for folks. They want to come in their pajamas. They bring in their own pillow because you stopped handing out pillows. That's why they're carrying a pillow.
You're totally right.
Yep.
People are now dressing down because that's how you feel. You're looking for comfort.
If you're going to if you're going to treat me like it's a cattle car, I'm going to act like a cow.
I'm going to dress like a cow.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Look at that guy. We're looking at a picture right now. This is probably 1959. Could be 1963. I don't know.
That's Nikita Khrushchev in the front row, right?
I have no idea.
Former Soviet President Khrushchev. That's like 61.
Is it really?
I don't know. It looks just like him.
It does look like him. He's got the forehead for sure.
So I'm thinking this is early 60s.
This looks early 60s. Yeah. Definitely based on what the stewardess is wearing.
They're all coat and ties. Look at them all the guys.
They all look happy. They're pouring champagne in his glass.
Yeah.
He's going to enjoy his flight.
staircase,
Spiral
too.
staircase, which goes up to a smoking lounge. Laura, I don't know if you've ever been up in one of those. It's fantastic.
On an airplane, no.
It's very cool. It's very cool. They don't have many of those anymore, but that's pretty sweet. But look at air travel now. Let's switch to what they're doing air travel now. This is a bunch of budget airlines are attempting to do this. They're now going to have bike-style seating where you're literally on what looks like a road bike seat connected to your seat. Look at that. The seats no longer sit flat. And these are going to be introduced in 2026.
You no longer sit.
You no longer sit.
You're basically standing up.
You stand. And
with supporting your weight in a saddle.
You lean back on this kind of saddle. Yeah, we have a picture up right now of the guy who looks very happy to be there, but you know he's just feeling on. Look at that. There's no possible way that somebody could squeeze past you. The distance between those two seats, you're literally like, your upper thighs pressed against the seat in front of you.
Yeah. You're standing.
I'd lose my mind.
You're standing up and leaning back at a slight angle, like almost like an incline board.
I hate this.
Or like those Frogger or like drop rides. You know?
Yes.
Where like you're strapped in the seat, but except your legs aren't dangling. This guy's kind of squatting.
You've got a footrest, and your legs are a bit. I mean, your weight is not supported by your crotch, which would be impossibly uncomfortable for any amount of time.
This doesn't work for me. I couldn't do this.
No way.
I don't understand. Yeah, look at this. Look how close that is. Guys, that couple married? I hope they are.
They
They're
will
so
be
close.
after this.
Good golly.
Strangers when we took off, dating by Ohio.
Yeah.
Engaged over the Rockies and married by the time they got to
Now
Seattle.
we're expecting by the end of this flight. This looks so uncomfortable to me, and I don't like this. And I don't like that air travel is now it is a cattle car. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like cattle cars are just trying to squeeze in as many people as possible. Here's this other one that's wild. They're now Airbus has just partnered up with this Spanish startup called Chaise Lounge. And what they're going to attempt to do is something called double-decker seating. And we have pictures of this up right now. We're doing it on YouTube. You can watch this.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh.
This actually looks, if I'm being honest, this looks preferable to me than the bike seating that we just showed you.
Because you're seating. There's seating.
Because you're seated. You're seated. Yes,
Yeah.
you're not seated. That's not a word.
You're
But
seated.
you are seated. The problem, though, is that you might notice that somebody in the upper tier, when you're just like a little step ladder, you almost have to get up to it. The upper tier you're behind is exactly at the head level of the person who's sitting in the lower tier below you.
Yeah.
And they're calling this online, they're calling this the fart zone, which is really gross to think about.
Yeah.
But this is what air travel is going to be. It's just going to be jamming in as many people as possible.
Oh man.
I know. It's just so uncomfortable.
I've seen this configuration. This was born during the COVID era you ever seen restaurants do this? Where they'll stack seating like this?
No.
Imagine a row of like 3 booths.
Okay.
And then there's above that are like 2 other booths stacked on top of them. You follow what I'm saying? Like in that same kind of configuration the seats were. You got 3 booths at the ground level and then steps up to 2 more booths above them.
Oh, I hear you.
It's like almost like bunk bed booths at a restaurant.
Weird.
But it worked during COVID.
Because they're trying to optimize outdoor seating?
Yes,
Is that what it was?
Exactly what it was. Yeah, trying to make get as most people into the spaces that they had available during that was born during COVID.
I don't like
but
it.
I think with the need to get more people there efficiently and affordably, you're going to see more of this stacked
for sure.
seating.
Yeah, this is going to be this is the new wave.
Slabbing,
Yeah.
I think we could call this type of seating.
That's a great term
That's
for
what
it.
I just coined it.
And
slabbing.
it sounds gross.
It feels yes,
And it would feel
yes,
gross.
Yes.
I don't like it. And
Well,
I don't like that they're just trying to figure out how to charge you for every single little interaction you have on a plane. You're going to pay for the headsets.
That's everything now.
You're going to pay for your bags that you're checking in.
Yep, you do.
You're going to pay for every single thing. I'm surprised they don't put, honestly, and maybe they already do this, are they weighing people yet and charging you per the pound?
You know what? There was talk of that. I don't think it's ever been brought to fruition.
I think they should absolutely do that. If they're going to charge people, if they're going to charge people per bag, and they're going to charge people for every single other little thing, then why not charge people per pound? It makes no sense to me because that's all they care about. All they care about is the poundage weight on an aircraft.
It is fly by the pound.
Yeah.
Skinny people would love this. Larger people like myself, Americans in general,
it's equal
are gonna pay more.
opportunity. It's not.
Yeah, but you're not.
The airline's not forcing you to eat an extra donut. You could stop eating that donut if you want a cheaper flight.
And they are spending more fuel to fly a fat guy than a skinny guy.
100%. So why am I paying the same as a heavy guy?
You're an innovator.
I'm an innovator.
Can't believe you said that into a microphone and they heard it.
If I have an airline someday,
yeah,
I'm going to charge by the pound. And I think people are going to appreciate it. And then here's what else you're going to find. If you're charging by the pound and you make it kind of expensive for people, you might find you have a whole plane full of people who are like kind of thinner, and then you got a lot of extra arm room.
You do have a lot of extra arm room. That's right. And those bigger people can just go by rail. in cars. Cattle cars, we'll call them.
I can see where you're going.
You see where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going, and I can see why this is not a good PR move. This is why I don't own an airline.
It's a tough sell, buddy.
But I will say,
think it through.
And I'm not trying to be offensive to people who are extra weight. I, at times, am heavier than at other times.
You work with one of the heaviest Americans in radio.
That's not true.
You don't
That's
pass
not true.
judgment.
No, you look great.
By the way, I used to know a guy named Cowhead was his radio name.
Jeez Louise.
Cowhead. He was huge. I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. He was a very big guy. It was a 2-seat kind of guy on airplanes.
Sure.
He would literally, and he knew it, and he bought 2 seats. He was that big.
Sure.
His thing was to wait till be the last guy on board.
Smart.
And walk down the aisle and pause at every open center seat.
Just to mess with
see
people.
the faces. Just to watch the blood leave the faces of the people
Cowhead.
who thought they had escaped it and had an open center seat. And he would walk down. He would literally, this kind of guy had to turn sideways going down the aisle.
See the kind of guy who's going like this all the time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he huffed.
Huffing his way down.
Yeah.
So it's got to be sideways. So he's crab walking down.
Yeah, and he stops and he looked at his ticket, look up at the thing, and then look at the empty seat, and then look at the 2 faces and the horror.
He said, "Nah, I'm just kidding."
And he would waddle to the back and sit in his 2 seats.
Could be an extra good way to pick up some tips.
It was great.
He could be like, "Listen, I could sit here. This is where my ticket's at.
I could tell you for $20, I'll go sit in an empty seat in the back.
I'll go
row.
find an empty
Right.
seat. I'll go find 2 empty seats.
Fly free.
This is how he's making money on these flights. Very interesting. I don't like any of this seating, and I imagine they're not going to take my advice and charge by the pound either.
No, I don't know, dude. Trust me when I tell you, this is coming. The
seats are coming for sure.
Slab seating is coming.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You're just staring at somebody else's
The fart
butt
zone
the
is
entire
coming.
time. Or the back of their seat, at least. I don't like it. It's a bad deal. I don't think it's going to be nice.
First off, I don't know. I'd be so claustrophobic with having somebody's backside in the back of their chair right in my face.
100%.
That is, I could not sit in that lower seat.
I couldn't do it. I'd have to have the upper seat.
Is that higher price? Upper seat, you think? Top seating, bottom seating?
Yep.
Right?
Upper, lower class?
You bet. Lower class seating. And that, boy.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Oh.
Disgusting.
But it's
disgusting.
It's inevitable. It's coming. As is fly by the pound. I'm telling you, bud, it's coming. It may not be it's a PR nightmare.
Which I agree with you. It's a PR nightmare, but it makes more sense to me
really
than
does.
bicycle seats. Bicycle seats don't make sense.
That's terrible. Well, I'd offer coupons, right?
A coupon day.
Half off, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your third pound is free. Every third pound is free.
I like that.
How about that?
Genius. That's a nicer way of putting it.
Right?
Yep. Fly the friendly skies. Absolutely. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
A big story developing this morning.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
Get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Huge impacts for Boeing and Boeing workers.
The office, the gym, anywhere.
Water, like taxes, goes all the way down to the bottom, so it'll either come out of the employee's paycheck or the lack of raise.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Summer is on everyone's mind, and many of us ladies, well, you men too, would like to get rid of that extra stubborn fat and address those areas of loose skin like around the waistline, chin, and upper arms. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without getting the results you were hoping for. Introducing ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. ProSculpt is minimally invasive, performed while you're fully awake, and it's gentle yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate and permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation, and for a limited time, get $250 off. Feel confident this summer with instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening that works for women and men too. ProSculpt.com.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Say hello to summer and hello to savings on your very own saltwater hot spring spa. Through May 26th, we have special pricing on the best hot tub you can own and interest-free financing till 2030. It's time to start feeling better every day with a healthy, soothing soak. Are you ready? Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
This is your chance to get more. The Harnish Auto family's annual super sale is here. Volkswagen, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Subaru, and Kia. New cars, used cars, certified pre-owned cars, and more. More selection, more value, more for your trade. Buy, trade, sell at the Harnish Auto family's annual super sale happening right now. Come on down and join the family. Located in Puyallup and Everett. The Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory is a little different. We actually reach out to the small business world, to Joel Taylor and Sean O'Donnell from Sean O'Donnell's Restaurants. Sean, when Joel brought this to you, the idea of why don't we take this First Mark Challenge victory, what was your thought?
My goal was to save some money and to simplify our operations. We've got 6 locations now, and along with that comes complications. And when things get complicated, things that are important get forgotten. First Mark was able to simplify that and also save us money.
Not only have they saved us money, they helped us identify some blind spots in our policies. Their service team has been phenomenal, unparalleled in my experience, given us a lot more solutions with better coverage, and just made too much sense.
First Mark's just made it easy for us.
So if you're a business owner and your insurance is in need of simplifying and streamlining and eliminate the stress, do what Sean O'Donnell's Restaurants did. Reach out to First Mark Insurance. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance, your teammate in the business world too. Going to work for you.
At Kia of Everett, we make the process of buying your new Kia as exciting as driving it home. The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Boeing will avoid criminal prosecution over 2 737 deadly MAX crashes in a deal reached with the U.S. Justice Department.
This plea deal is disappointing, but not surprising.
That is attorney Mark Lindquist, who represents victims' families. He tells us they wanted Boeing to face more accountability, including an independent monitor.
Families wanted to feel like at least something positive came out of these 2 crashes and the door plug blowout.
The settlement will cost Boeing more than $1 billion in fines, safety improvements, and payments to victims' families. The deal does still need to be finalized. Out of the closing bell reports, President Trump issues a new round of tariff threats, this time targeting the EU. Your CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
Today, the president taking aim at the European Union in a True Social post. He wrote that they have been very difficult to deal with. He said their discussions with them are going nowhere and said, therefore, I'm recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union starting on June 1.
The president also warning Apple that its iPhones would face a 25% tariff if they're not made in the U.S. These latest threats led to a big sell-off on Wall Street today. The Dow lost 256, S&P 500 off 39 points, and the Nasdaq down 188. Nationwide gas prices are at their lowest in years this Memorial Day weekend, sitting at $3.20. Now, here in Washington, we are paying an average of $4.38. That's the third highest in the nation. It's most expensive here in the greater Seattle area at about $4.60. That is, though, down about 20 cents from last year. Now to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. A disabled bus blocking the right lane southbound I-5 at Mercer. You are backed up to Northgate right now, Linwood to Seattle, taking you 45 minutes. That is a 15-minute delay. Very slow going from Tacoma to Olympia. Plan on an hour-plus drive. That is holiday weekend traffic right there. Backup start around Lakewood. It clears a bit past JBLM before you hit the brakes again before downtown Olympia. And starting to get busy just across the map right now. Looking at a 45-minute drive from Renton to Puyallup, at least a 50-minute drive from Seattle or Bellevue up into Everett. For all of your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking and call Beacon. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A nice dry afternoon, just a few clouds out there. Tomorrow, also partly cloudy with temperatures in the 70s for Saturday and Sunday. Upper 60s on Monday, Memorial Day. Right now, 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. From time to time, we talk about things that we are watching or that we're excited to watch or things that pique our interest. There is a documentary coming out I believe it comes out in June, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it comes out June 7th. I could be wrong on that date. But Netflix has a new documentary that will start streaming. And it will be about the Titan sub. Have you guys? Do you guys remember the Titan sub disaster?
Of course. Horrible story.
Back in 2023, it was June. I think it was June 18th of 2023. The Titan submersible went missing, and it was really amazing because the entire world. It was one of those like Baby Jessica type moments where the entire world was watching what. They thought it was a rescue operation at first.
Sure.
They were trying to rescue a sub that they thought had just lost contact with the surface on its way down to the Titanic wreck and was still filled with, I think there were 6 people on board, still had people on board. They were running out of oxygen, so there's this like ticking clock element to it that everybody was just like, just driven crazy by.
Well, they lost contact with this, and it was a private company, locally connected company.
Yep.
Sold tickets to the uber successful, very wealthy adventure seekers.
Yep.
To go down and look, because the Titanic, had been reached decades ago now, where they actually found and pursued the Titanic's.
Yeah, it was the 1980s.
Well, and James Cameron built his own submersible and went
James
and looked
Cameron's gone
at
down
it
there
before making the Titanic movie.
Yeah, and then here's a local entrepreneur who built himself a little submarine.
There was a guy, his name was Stockton Rush, and he had a company called Ocean Gate, which was actually based out of Everett, Washington.
Right.
So it was a local story, but it was the #1 story around the world for days as they were waiting to figure out what happened to the sub. And it's just one of these stories that I'm endlessly fascinated by. And I don't know if it's like a morbid curiosity or if it's just I cannot imagine getting into that sub. Do you guys remember the design of this thing?
Oh, yeah.
It was a tiny little tin can, basically. It fits 6 people, but you're in this like homemade design that this guy came up with.
It reminded me of a big propane tanks that people put on the side of their houses.
Exactly
right?
like that.
That's about how big it seemed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a little bigger, but that's what it looked like. People were slipping inside and cranking this thing down, to keep it airtight.
Yep.
Wasn't it like controlled? Lori said it was a joystick, right?
A video game controller.
It was controlled with like a $30 Bluetooth video game controller that would connect to the little,
right.
navigation system.
And there was a story when they were going down, because it was like the maiden voyage of this opportunity. And there was some interest in that, but when it went missing and it became, like you said, the world was watching, holding their breath for the rescue operation.
They had a couple of successful, let's see, how many deaths, how many people died on the thing? I think they had 5 fatalities. Not 6, I'm sorry, 5 fatalities. They had a couple of successful dives, but the problem with the design is that it was made out of carbon fiber, which they don't make these out of for a very specific reason, because carbon fiber eventually weakens and breaks.
And it's the pressure of that depth of
diving. And it's the pressure.
Right.
And maybe it works once and maybe it works 3 times. But at some point, it doesn't have the strength anymore to withstand the immense pressure that's being placed on it.
Yeah, repeated use. Yeah.
So we have some audio here. Actually, we have a video we're going to watch. If you're watching youtube.com right now, you can go to KIRO Newsradio. We're going to watch this together. This is his wife, which is, I believe her name is Wendy Rush. She's the wife of Stockton Rush. And this audio, which I believe will be part of this new documentary, and it's now been released a little early, but it's the moment that they hear the underwater implosion. Is that right, Laura? The underwater implosion? And so they're watching it because there was a whole giant ship watching them and making sure that they were safe. And then they kind of have this moment, and let's watch this together, and then we can talk about it. We'll listen to it. Here we go. Going to play here. Right,
US Coast Guard's Marine Board of Investigation is looking into the disaster. Footage they recently discovered from Titan's support ship has been submitted as evidence for their investigation.
You will hear a noise that is external to the ship, or external to the room, I should say, and you will see their reaction to the noise.
Stockton Rush's wife Wendy is waiting for messages from the sub as it nears the sea floor.
What was that bang? So at that point, you said, "What was that bang?" What was that bang? I'm going to back up and play it one more time.
Oh my gosh, that's
it sounds
tragic.
like a door slamming.
If you're watching this,
Yeah.
What was that bang? The noise is a sound of Titan
shut this off
imploding.
now. It does sound like a door slam.
It did. Well, what it was the thing, just like you said, imploding from the pressure on the outside.
Just instantaneous.
It's so quick. I didn't expect it to be that quick.
Yeah.
Right. Well, all I know from submarine disasters are what I've seen in movies, right? And
that's a very Hollywood version.
Right. Very dramatic, slow. We got to
Slowly
leak.
fills up with water, and like
right.
U-571 or something.
Yes, but this is. And he says this is a Netflix.
There's a Netflix
movie
one. There's a
coming up?
BBC one, I believe. The audio that we just played was out of a BBC documentary, but there's a Netflix documentary that's coming out soon, which I'm interested. It's called Titan, and this is just one of those. Like anytime one of these things comes out, I'm always on June 11th. It comes out. It comes out on June 11th. So we've got a couple weeks. Are you guys as fascinated by this? And why do you think we're so fascinated by the Titan sub? I don't think it's just a local connection, because I didn't even know this guy was local at the time. And the entire world was captivated by this.
I think it's a great question. I think there's, and Netflix is making a documentary on this, so obviously there's interest in this globally. Netflix doesn't throw their money around. There's so many facets of this that are intriguing. It's the super rich, how they play, the adventure styles of the uber wealthy. The people who do these extreme adventures, whether it's heli skiing even, or going to see the Titanic as a civilian. People who go up in SpaceX. We're all fascinated by doing these incredibly rare adventure opportunities.
Kind of risky behaviors, yeah.
So there's that. There's a vicarious appeal from that angle. And then there's the disaster of it. And then as the story unfolded, after we realized the horrific results of this, there was the warning signs that were ignored as this thing moved forward. From testing to diving to selling tickets to this disastrous result. All those things come into play, which is why I think there's not just you're not alone in your fascination with this.
It is, and there were so many things about this that just were just crazy to think about. The fact that they named it Titan, which was named after kind of like it was an homage to Titanic. Mm-hmm. Literally, they end up, the people who go down, think about how obsessed you would have to be with the Titanic to want to go down on something like this.
And see this, yeah.
And to see this thing. And then you end up part of the wreckage, essentially, which is where they found this. They found this within sight of the Titanic. The whole thing is just frightening. Would you ever, in a million years, go down in something like this?
No,
I mean,
no.
Let's say that this one was still operating safely.
No.
Would you go down in
If
something
James
like this?
Cameron invited me, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And his works. No disrespect. I mean, I know it's some people lost their lives. I'm not trying to minimize the tragedy here. That ain't for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going up in SpaceX. I don't care if Katy Perry's sitting on one side and Paris Hilton's on the other. I don't care. I ain't going.
Yeah. Just the tight space of it.
I don't need it. I'm as you know, I'm claustrophobic.
Sure.
I'm risk averse by nature. I'm not a big risk taker. There's no way I'd do this.
Laura, would you go on something like this?
I would never go in a handcrafted thing like this. So James Cameron built his own submersible.
Artisan, they call it.
Wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Would not have done this. I would go in a military grade. Sub.
One that had made many, many dives successful.
Yeah. And with people who are true experts who have trained for years on how to navigate and have done the trip many times for years successfully. That I would do. I trust that.
It would be a nightmare. I could never imagine doing that. No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Loris, you got me thinking for a sec because as I say, I'm risk averse. I know some of the most amazing experiences and memories I have are when I just took a chance.
Sure.
And went somewhere and did something that I was, leery of.
Yeah, people say that about skydiving. Everything. Stuff. I get it.
I thought I would never, ever go skydiving until a couple seafares ago. I got the chance to go up with the Army Golden Knights, their professional skydiving team.
Did you go?
I did not skydive, but I would have jumped out of the plane with them. Like I went up thinking there's no way in a million years I would ever A, jump on this flight or B, ever skydive. Ever in my life. It's just not worth the risk. But seeing how confident they were, how many times they had done it, how routine it was, all the safety checks, that's why I say I would go with a military operation.
Well, they've done it
because they've done it.
The Golden Knights have done it thousands and thousands of times. Yeah.
Thousands, really, yeah.
But this tightens up.
And they were pretty cute, too, so.
Well, there you go.
I wouldn't mind tandem jumping.
If there's any Golden Knights out there who want to go on a skydiving.
That's coming, right?
My grandma was looking up where they all live afterwards.
Was she really? Where they train? See if there's any spots for Laura down there. All right. You can look out for that documentary. That's going to be on Netflix on June 11th. I will be excited about that one. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah, got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
I just learned 10% of our electricity in Washington comes from nuclear energy.
I've heard it's reliable and has a small footprint, but what about the waste?
It's not what you might think. No overflowing dumpsters or leaking barrels. Used fuel is safely stored in solid form after powering homes, schools, and businesses for years. All nuclear power plants in the U.S. store their used fuel responsibly to protect the environment.
Where can I learn more?
You can learn about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com. Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software, upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
This could be the oddest gift anyone's ever given me.
But I'll bet you use it.
When the time is right, I suppose.
That's the idea.
A plunger.
An Apollo plumbing plunger.
Free for me?
Actually, free to everyone we visit.
Because?
We believe some things you can do on your own.
And if this plunger can't fix it?
Apollo Plumbing will.
Just like that.
You call, we come. It's fixed.
Wouldn't you rather I just call?
You're welcome to.
Okay.
But for a simple backup?
Something I can solve myself?
Try your free plunger.
I'll admit it's kind of spiffy.
Apply a little pressure.
And if it still won't clear?
Call Apollo Plumbing.
The Ready Right Now plumbers.
Our big blue trucks come stocked full of fixes.
And a plunger wielding plumber.
A clean screen trained and trustworthy Apollo plumber.
They come in a jiffy?
Arriving when promised to put plumbing problems in your past.
And give me a free plunger.
That too.
You know, I kind of like this plunger.
I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Just like Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
If it's time for a new bath, go with a name you can trust, Bathfitter Northwest. Bathfitter is the original one-day bath remodeler. Now get 0% interest for 24 months. Call the people I trust to do the job right, Bathfitter, or visit bathfitternw.com.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
An Aussie trekker travels to America to hike an epic trail.
It was rocky, it was imposing.
But Eric Robinson never made it to the end. I'm Dave Cawley. Follow my podcast, Uinta Triangle, UINTA, on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.
Welcome back to the show. This was really cool. There's a lot of graduations happening right now. There's a lot of college graduations happening. We got some high school graduations that are about to happen. When do kids get out of school for the summer?
It varies. Some
soon, right?
Some are already out. Some have a couple 3 more weeks to go.
Yeah.
Kids across the street will go the third week of June.
Yeah, my kid's school goes till almost the end of June.
Yeah.
That feels late to me. I feel like when I was a kid, it was early June.
Yeah.
We had all of June, July, and August.
I would think.
And now they only have basically July and August. What happened? Why is it so short now?
I don't know if it's the required number of school days and days closed.
It must be.
Must be it.
It must be.
Memorial Day is an early Memorial Day this year. The 26th is pretty early for Memorial Day. That makes it feel like kids are getting even more shortchanged.
I really do feel, we're saying a lot of things that we feel. I really do feel like when I was younger, summer break started earlier. And it doesn't feel that way anymore. Now that I have kids.
I'm with you. I seen me Memorial Day. That was it. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm done.
Yeah. It's like June rolls around.
Boom.
Summer.
Yep.
June is summer.
Yes.
Now it's July. Makes no sense. All right. This school did a really sweet thing. We're going to watch this video together. We're going to listen to it. If you're not watching, totally fine. You're not going to miss anything. But if you are watching, then it will be enhanced for you because it's really adorable. And what you're going to see, or what you're going to hear for the listening audience, a school filmed these sixth graders asking questions to their future selves, and then the school followed up 6 years later when these kids, they started them in sixth grade, and then they followed up, and now these are all high school seniors who are responding to their own sixth grade self. So it looks like, in the side-by-side video, it looks like the young kid is interviewing an older kid.
A high school senior.
But it's the same person.
It's amazing.
Just separated by 6 years. And the two things that jump out at you. One, crazy how fast time flies. That these sixth graders who look like babies, and then these high school seniors who are just about to get out, and they're all so grown up and respectful, and they're all so sweet. And then it also made me think, like, this is the coolest idea that I can think of. What a gift this is for the school to do this for these students.
That's some good forethought.
Really cool. Yeah. So we're going to play some of this audio. And these are the younger kid audio you're hearing is the younger
This is from McCallie School in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Which I believe is an all-boys school.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the uniforms they're wearing. All right, let's play the video.
A few questions. Hey, Ward, this is your sixth grade self. I've got a few questions for you. Is your favorite hobby still solving a Rubik's Cube, just like me?
I thought it was so tough for being able to do that back in the day.
Hey, Ward, is your favorite food still Mexican?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Chipotle, for sure. Taco Mamacita.
Is your favorite movie still The Waterboy?
My favorite movie definitely is still The Waterboy. 100%. It's a classic.
Is your favorite subject world history, or is it math and science?
Not world history anymore. I'm a science guy now.
Also, what is your favorite sport? Is it still soccer?
The stutter is crazy. No, football, definitely. Go Birds.
Is your favorite sport still basketball?
My favorite sport is still basketball. I've loved it all through McCallie. I love basketball.
Is your favorite movie still Star Wars?
My favorite movie is probably still Star Wars, yeah.
What is the biggest life lesson you have learned this far?
Try your hardest, no matter what. You'll feel bad if you didn't do it. You take enough AP classes and hard classes over the 4 years of high school, you'll realize what happens when you don't try hard, so you better do it. You'll end up doing it.
What is the biggest life lesson you've learned thus far?
Always be kind to others and always love others. Just treat your neighbor as you would as yourself.
What life advice would you have given me as a sixth grader?
Be kind to everyone. Every time you can. You don't get a chance to
just the sweetest video.
Take things back.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't that so nice? Is there advice you give to your younger self? I mean, if you could look back and...
Oh, my gosh.
Wouldn't it be cool to have this video of a younger self actually asking you questions?
Oh. And I want to be flippant. Yeah, buy Microsoft. But that's nothing. That means money comes and money goes. Oh, what a beautiful thought.
Isn't that nice?
And you know what this is, buddy? This is such an opportunity. You've got 4 boys at home.
I know.
You've got little Jakes. You've got your younger self as a dad. You literally have your younger self there. So what advice?
That's great advice.
I mean, seriously, what advice would you give to your younger self? I love the take that these kids had. Be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Try everything. Knuckle down, bear down, work hard.
Work hard.
Put the time in. Make the commitment. It pays off. It so pays off. Don't throw away opportunities.
Attitude is such an important one, too. I tell that to my kids all the time. Like, hey, you know what? You can decide what kind of attitude you want to have.
That's exactly right. You have a choice in how this affects you and how you react to it.
It doesn't matter what happens. You can decide how you're going to respond to it. Your attitude is everything.
Gold.
If you can do that, if you can get used to doing that as a kid, I know a lot of adults who don't know how to have a good attitude, and they don't have very enviable lives.
Life treats everybody pretty much the same way.
Yep.
It's how we react to it and what we do with the experience that we have that make the difference in everything.
That's golden advice right there.
Wow.
Golden advice.
That's amazing. If you are listening now and can't see these young men, And these boys.
So cute.
Check out the YouTube channel, the Jake and Spike Show on the KIRO Radio YouTube channel. It's worth your time.
It's going to make you feel good. It's going to uplift you.
Yeah,
absolutely. Which is our goal here on the show.
Oh, that was great.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin. I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for nourishing champions. Why pickleball?
Obviously, it's a growing sport, but also this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We are the most competitive people, so regardless of how sorry Doug might be, he will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl.
Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Milgard window specialists who've been trained by Milgard to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms. Or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. President Trump is calling for more tariffs, 50% on the European Union and 25% on smartphone makers. More from CBS's Erica Brown.
The president called out Apple CEO Tim Cook, demanding Apple and others make their smartphones in the U.S. or face a 25% tariff at the end of June.
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair.
Trump was talking about the Apple tariffs
we want to make our cars
when his iPhone began ringing, interrupting his Q&A with the press.
It's only a congressman.
The Justice Department has reached a preliminary agreement with Boeing over the crashes of two of its jets.
This agreement in principle would dismiss a criminal charge against Boeing over certification of the 737 MAX jet, which was involved in two catastrophic crashes in 2018 and 2019. In exchange, Boeing will pay $1.1 billion in penalties. Attorney Paul Castle, who represents some of the families, says, quote, "This kind of non-prosecution deal is unprecedented and obviously wrong for the deadliest corporate crime in U.S. history." The Department of Justice defends the agreement, saying it ends several years of litigation that could have lasted even longer. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Investigators just announced the runway lights and a weather alert system were not working at San Diego's Montgomery Airport yesterday when a private jet coming in for a landing in foggy conditions crashed into a military housing neighborhood. The NTSB's Dan Baker.
The pilot did not report any problems to air traffic control, and he did not declare an emergency.
All 6 people on the plane are believed to have died. A record number of Americans are expected to travel this Memorial Day weekend. Reporter Brad Gibson caught up with some drivers in Oklahoma.
Abby Tarpalici is headed to Little Rock for what millions of other Americans will do this holiday weekend.
We've been planning to grill outside and just spend some time with family. We'll see if the rain will let us do that, but we're going to just hang out together.
Rose Meyer is on her way to Dallas for a granddaughter graduation.
Gas prices, kind of figured they were going to go up a little bit before the holiday. They usually do.
But actually, gas prices on average are down this Memorial weekend, the lowest since 2021. Brad Gibson for CBS News, Tulsa.
Russia and Ukraine have begun a major prisoner exchange. More from CBS's Rami Inocencio.
This swap was agreed to last week. That was when both sides held direct talks in Istanbul. And those were the first since 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said that what is happening today is the only tangible results of that meeting in Turkey.
Stocks fell today on the latest Trump tariff threats. The Dow lost 256 points. This is CBS News.
A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive can make bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Due in court this hour, suspects in the Pioneer Square triple homicide. We'll get to that after we go to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. And this report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Getting busy out there on this getaway day. I-5 southbound just north of Port of Tacoma. There is a disabled vehicle blocking the right lane, slowing you down in the downtown area there. Also slow going from Tacoma to Olympia. Plan on an hour-plus drive. This is just holiday weekend traffic. Heavy volume between Lakewood and JBLM. Clear to crash on 405 southbound just north of 527. It was blocking the HOV lane, but still seeing some traffic backing you up all the way to Alderwood. Right now, Linwood to Seattle is a 55-minute drive. That is about a 20-minute delay, and plan on about an hour into Everett from Seattle or Bellevue. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Police arrest 3 suspects connected to that triple homicide in Pioneer Square over the weekend. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the latest.
Police say they tracked the men to an apartment complex yesterday at the corner of Gale Place South and South Walden Street in South Seattle. 2 men are being held on investigation of homicide, 3 counts, and investigation of assault. The 3rd man held on a DOC escape warrant. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says the department plans to saturate Pioneer Square at bar closing time beginning this weekend.
They can expect to see additional uniformed patrol officers in that area doing everything we can to keep people safe.
Police say they still aren't sure what led to the shooting. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The 2 homicide suspects are set to face a judge any minute in their first court appearance. Opening statements got underway today in the trial of a man accused of hitting and killing a state trooper. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey was in court.
Prosecutors say Gad was parked well off to the side of I-5 in March of 2024 when the suspect, Raul Benitez Santana, hit Gad's cruiser. Another issue in the case, Benitez Santana is a citizen of Mexico and was here in the U.S. illegally when he was arrested. ICE put a detainer on the 33-year-old the same week he was booked into the Snohomish County Jail. Defense attorneys have argued in pretrial motions publicity of Benitez Santana's immigration status have tainted any potential jury pool. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Port of Seattle commissioners want clarity from U.S. Customs and Border Protection about people detained at SeaTac airports. In a joint statement, they say they're concerned concerned by reports about people who've been held for an extended period of time. We have reached out to CBP for comments. City of Seattle may soon change its ethics code. It would allow council members to vote on things in which they have a financial interest. Councilmember Dan Strauss spoke out against that bill on Thursday.
I don't think that we should be the ones leading with legislation that, in my opinion, lowers our ethical standards.
Seattle Times reports a council committee passed the bill. It now goes to the full council. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are setting up for a very nice Memorial Day weekend today. Dry, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 60s, low 70s on Saturday and Sunday, upper 60s for Memorial Day. Just a slight chance for some light showers in the morning. Right now, 62 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome back to the show. Just 1 hour left with us before this long weekend. But don't worry, a full hour. It's going to be great. Tons of stuff to talk about. This is a lot of fun. 2 p.m. on Fridays, we look back at our favorite stories of the week. And this has been one of our best weeks ever. Don't you think this has been one of our best show weeks ever? Is there a better week on that you can think of?
But I say that every Friday. This may be the best week. I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but this may be the best week we've ever had.
This is the best.
This really might be the best week we've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely the best week we've ever had.
It's not just the personal glory either.
No, there's
been some real moments of high water marks for a 35-year career for me. High water marks.
There's some high water marks, which we'll get into in a minute here. In the look back on this wondrous week. Laura, do you want to start us off? What story grabbed you this week? What were you excited about?
If I had to pick a favorite segment from this week, the one that I told everyone that I know and love to go listen to, if they for some reason weren't listening to the show live, which most people do, it has to be Spike's Kermit impression.
That was special. That was yesterday.
You're too kind.
That is fun. So much better than the real Kermit.
We have the real
voice.
Kermit yesterday.
Well, here's funny you say that because I don't think we do. I mean, we're talking about the Maryland commencement. University of Maryland had their commencement yesterday.
We have audio of that.
And we have audio of Kermit the Frog, who is a creation of Maryland alumni Jim Henson. So Kermit the Frog was asked to give the commencement address to the graduating class of 2025 University of Maryland Terrapins. And
Jim Henson has passed away years ago.
Passed away, I think 2003, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And what I came to realize through the investigation of this story was that there's a different person. I think Matt Vogel is the name of the puppeteer, voice actor who has been doing Kermit the Frog's voice professionally in all aspects of Kermit the Frog for about the last 8 years. And I haven't been paying attention. You know, I've aged out of the Muppets. Hard to believe, I know. But
even though it's timeless.
It is timeless.
You haven't aged out.
Of the Muppets.
No, you'll everybody comes back around to the Muppets.
8 to 80.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a gift. But play some of the Maryland, University of Maryland commencement address from Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. Here we go. Kermit the
Thank
Frog.
you.
He's taking the mic. He's hopping over to the mic
waddling
stand.
over.
We're going to hear from him in a moment. Kermit the Frog. Here we go. Kermit, don't be shy. Anytime.
You're all here. You're all here to listen to a frog in a very tiny cap and gown give a commencement speech on, what's actually turned out to be a pretty beautiful evening. Yeah. Either way, I can guarantee you the forecast calls for a 100% chance of frog. So here I am. President Pines, Provost Rice, esteemed professors, proud parents, families, friends, fighting Terps, and fellow amphibians, thank you for having me. Let's hear it again for the graduates.
I've heard enough.
Let me pause it right there. He should have done his classic frog scream, yell. Exactly.
With the arms waving.
Exactly,
he
but
did.
he did
He
it.
did right at the beginning. You want to hear it?
Well,
But right there, he told him to clap and cheer.
Hello, I mean, wow, look at this crowd. Look at all these graduation caps with their decorations. Wow. Wow. What a thrill it is to be back here at the University of Maryland and celebrate the class of 2025.
Does that count?
No, that's a voice crack.
It's heartbreaking to me because I take such pride in Jim Henson being a Maryland alumni like myself.
Sure.
I take such pride in Jim Henson. And plus, I was raised on the Muppets, man. I mean, I was a little too old. My younger sister was a baby when the Muppets were first introduced. When
The Muppet Show.
Sesame Street.
Oh, Sesame Street.
And Kermit and all the gang from Sesame Street, all the Muppets, both my kids were raised on the values of Sesame Street, and not just but Kermit the Frog himself,
Muppets
is the pinnacle.
Yeah,
and this guy sucks. I'm sorry, this guy. He sucks.
What's funny is we were listening. So yesterday, if you missed the show yesterday, you've done yourself a great disservice, which is why you should download the podcast, or you should be watching every single day. You should be watching our YouTube series, our YouTube video, so you can go back and watch it in its entirety. But yesterday at around 2:30, we were talking about people being excited about Kermit doing the thing. Now, this is now since come and gone, but you ended up doing an impression of Kermit on the air that was so great and ties into another story that we're going to talk about in just a second. I literally was in tears. Laura was in tears. We were both just laughing. You ended up losing it too. And then I was telling everybody about it, and I told my wife, I played it for her last night, and it was my wife and I, and we had a drink. So I don't know. Add that into the story for what it
always sounds better when we're drinking.
We had a drink, and then the kids are all there, and they're watching it too, and we are all losing it because it was just joyous hearing you do Kermit's impression. You're pretty good at Kermit.
Well, thank you.
Exactly.
And you guys got to lean into the voice. There's a point in your throat there where you start to do Kermit the Frog, and
this guy's just talking. He's just talking.
He just sounds like a guy.
As you go out into the world to find your way through the swamp that is America.
Hearing you next to this guy, it's like the Kermit giving this commencement speech is Kermit's evil twin.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Which actually is a character in one of the Muppet movies.
One of the Muppet movies. He's got a Russian counterpart. That's right.
He's got a Russian counterpart.
What if?
He took over this guy, and this is all a plot in the next movie. We're just not even aware of it now because they're filming it right now, which is not the case. I wish that were the case. The guy, God bless him, he's trying as hard as he can, but he doesn't sound like Kermit.
And real Kermit is in a cell somewhere, punching the wall as he listens to this commencement speech.
Getting strong, so he can get out someday.
Like Linda Hamilton, she's doing frog ups on the
push-ups.
bed.
I thought you were gonna say like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Have you ever seen Terminator, Laura?
No.
Recurring theme. Thank you.
No, you got to see it. That was a joyous.
I did see the RBG documentary.
People should go back. People should go back and listen to yesterday's Kermit thing because I'm not gonna. You can't recreate magic when it happens. It was so great. Spike, what is your favorite story of the week?
It's my favorite story. We don't have any audio for it, so I'll just have to bring the story back for folks who missed it. We did a pretty in-depth coverage of this with Chris Sullivan, so I'll try to do the story, the justice that Sully brings to stories of transportation in the Great Northwest. It was announced this week that Washington State is going to add 3 ferries. 3 boats to the summer
Chris
schedule.
wasn't on for this.
No. He was. Oh, he was on.
No, this was just you and me. Chris was the Sound Transit.
That was another story this week. That they actually towed a train across Lake Union,
which was great,
or Lake Washington. Excuse me. I'm still a little misty from the Kermit thing.
Let's do but the Washington State Ferries one was a very frustrating story for us.
Because they're going to add 3 boats to the summer schedule. We already know that there's supposed to be 22 boats running in the Washington State Ferry system. They're down to 17. We've heard about delays in replacing the boats because they're going to go to electrified ferry boats. And then when Governor Ferguson was inaugurated, he said that he was going to suspend waiting for electric boats and just put more boats in the water. We'll get diesel boats. We have to. We got incredible shortage of boats and the world's largest commuter ferry system.
And at times, it's so bad that at times, because they're an old fleet and whatever, staffing delays, they have been down to as few as 12 boats, which you cannot service our area.
It just don't happen.
It just can't happen.
And here we are for the holiday weekend, right? And if people were lining up yesterday afternoon
Yeah.
Up in Edmonds. I'm going someplace in downtown Edmonds after work yesterday, and the ferry line on Thursday is already backed up all the way up the hill.
Ugh.
Anyway, the state's great news. They're going to add 3 more boats for the summer. I'm thinking, great, where'd they find 3 more boats?
Phenomenal.
That's amazing. Way to go, Ferg. Apparently, all they needed to do was find enough staff to put 3 more boats into service. They've had these boats sitting at dock, ready to go, but we didn't have enough people to staff the boats.
Which doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. That we've been this long understaffed, underboated.
Yeah, understaffed.
What's the correct terminology?
Both. We've been underboated and understaffed, Spike.
And all they had to do was hire some folks.
Was hire people. Because the excuse has been all along, well, these boats are so massive and they take a long time and the bids are out and we need all aging fleet, yada, yada, yada.
Hard to get the parts. I'm hearing,
some of the boats have been in the water for 60 years they've been running, which I understand, and it's great that they're still running them.
Sure.
And you should run them into the ground.
You bought good boats.
You bought good boats, and you built some good boats. But the excuse was always, it takes time, and then Governor Inslee dropped the ball because they didn't have the boats lined up fast enough for the next fleet that they were going to need, even though they knew that the new boats had to come in because they were trying to make sure that the boats were such and such and playing into climate change and all these different things that made it harder for the boats to get here. And then the builder that they had selected to build the boats ended up not being able to do the job for the agreed-upon price. Then they went out of business, and then they put it back out there for people to make bids to build new boats.
Yep.
But it takes years.
It does. That's 3, 5, 7 years through the pipeline.
They said it's going to be at least the soonest we could possibly get a boat on the water is going to be years and years away.
Yeah.
And we were thinking, well, we're just going to have to grin and bear it. And then we get this news. Oh, we just put 3 more boats in the water.
3 more boats. The Seattle-Bremerton run will turn to a 2-boat schedule starting on June 15th.
Nice.
The Fauntleroy-Vashon-Southworth Triangle route will have a 3-boat daily schedule beginning June 30th.
Nice.
And the second vessel will operate from Port Townsend to Coupeville on that run Monday through Friday, so from July 4th through the end of October.
Sweet.
Or middle of October.
Yeah.
So all they had to do was find employees. We've had boats sitting there waiting to pull out a dock, waiting to load up and bring us to our destinations, waiting to make our weekends what we need, promise of a wonderful weekend.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't you think that they prioritized hiring? If they knew they had the boats there, and then even in their release, they said, well, just so you know, if we put these extra boats on the water, then we won't have access to them if there's an emergency. But we're in an emergency situation right now because we don't have boats on the water.
If you get down to 12 boats out of 22, I
it's
think
an emergency.
Calling it an emergency.
So why didn't they hire people if they knew they had the boats? That would have been such an easy thing to do.
I can only point to the new administration in Olympia.
I
got to lay this at the feet of the former governor.
Why didn't Inslee hire people? I don't
know.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, cut a check. Go open up some fund, move some funding from pocket A to pocket B.
Get them in the water.
Get these boats staffed and on the water.
Craziness.
Anyway, that was my story of the week.
That's your story.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get to the story now that everybody knows and loves. Everybody's excited about it, and they're talking about it, and everybody can't wait for us to talk about it again. And we're also waiting for a conclusion to this story.
Well, I think it's going to be a long journey. This story.
Long journey.
It could be over
with
pretty
your heart.
Could be over pretty quick. We don't know.
Spike found out. Reset the stage for audience. Spike, you found out from a friend who was visiting your old home stomping grounds back in Maryland.
A friend of mine was at the beach last weekend watching a live concert, musical festival. And Sunday afternoon, I get a text from my buddy, hey, man, I got to send you a picture of a guy I met. And he sends me this picture of a guy he randomly saw in the crowd. Saw this guy from 30 feet away. Guy looked, and he said, I had to take this guy's picture and send it to you. And he sent me a picture of a guy who was my doppelganger.
Looks exactly
my
like
twin. Except a little bit younger than me, which is where the story goes from there. I'm like, wow. My buddy says, looks like your mom kept a secret. I'm like, more like my dad kept a secret. Asked this guy if his mom ever dated a bartender, and blah, 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 thinking about my dad. And I look at this guy's picture, and I'm like, wait a minute.
He's up on our live YouTube page right now.
This guy's not old enough to be my brother, but...
He's younger, clearly younger.
Yeah, and I said, ask this guy's mom if he's ever dated a bartender at where I worked. Long story short, I tended bar at the beach for 5 summers.
What was the name of your bars? Big
Brass Balls.
Brass Balls.
Not Big Peckers. I couldn't get a job at Big Peckers.
Was that a real bar?
Oh, yeah, I got a T-shirt at home. I'll show it to you. Big Peckers Bar and Grill. Big rooster on the back.
That would make
Foghorn,
just as much
Leghorn,
sense
mascot.
as
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a beach town. It was the 80s. What are you going to do? Anyway, tended bar at this place, and here's this picture of this guy, maybe 22 years younger than me.
Sure.
In that ballpark. Looks kind conspicuously like me.
Remarkably like you.
So what we're and my buddy didn't get the guy's name. I'm like, thanks a lot, pal. Thanks for the mystery hanging over my head now. Thanks for the uncertainty of my life.
Because now you have this probably your kid just walking around out there not knowing his dad.
It would be a criminal. It would be further criminal negligence not to look and follow up on this. Long story short, my buddies do a radio show in Baltimore.
Look at that. We got the picture up side by side of you on the beach and this guy on the beach.
Yeah. 98 Rock in Baltimore was the host radio station for this big Boardwalk Rocks festival. The guys at 98 Rock have agreed to do a little search for this guy in Baltimore, to use the power of their radio station in Baltimore.
Because he was at their event.
He was at their event at the beach.
So he's already a listener.
He's a fan. Yeah, he's a rocker. I mean, look at the kid. He's my kid.
We've got to get you on with them. We've got to get them on with us.
Well, we're going to try. Orioles they were supposed to do it today.
Okay.
Orioles had a doubleheader, and they carried the Oriole broadcasts at 98 Rock in Baltimore. So we're going to have a holiday weekend. My buddy said, "Hey, is there any rush?" And I said, "No, I've been neglecting this kid for 42 years. What's 5 more days?"
He's not going to know 5 more days.
What's 5 more days, right?
5 more days without a dad.
Yeah. I told Laura, and I'm not just sitting back on this. I was searching the Maryland State Patrol, Maryland's most wanted websites last night, see if maybe my kid was on there, because he probably would be.
Smart.
Right? They can look at the obvious places.
Would you fly out there to meet him and to do a DNA test, or how's that going to work? Have you decided that?
First,
you just have to have a conversation.
First, just tell me who your mom is.
Yeah.
And that may don't tell me who your dad is. They may have been lying to this poor kid for 42 years, for all I know.
Actually, I'd like to see a picture of this kid with his mom and dad.
Yeah,
there's a chance that she looks exactly like him.
Oh, she does,
or exactly like you.
Or well, what I'm saying is, and if that's the case, then maybe it's possible that
it's not my kid.
That it's not your
kid. Just a happy-go-lucky guy at the beach.
But if he doesn't look like his dad, I am going to have questions.
His dad's a furry Armenian, dark-complected, olive skin, one big eyebrow going across, looks like Bert from Sesame Street. That's not his kid.
Clearly not an O'Neill.
Come on.
But if this guy comes and he sees you, if he flies here, I mean, just think of the emotions that are going to fly.
That was the story of the week. Story of the year.
I'm here with my dad, and we never met, but you didn't know I was born, so I'm here now. I found you, Daddy, and I love you. I love you. I love you.
Ah, that's just going to be heartbreaking.
It's not going to be the happiest day of our lives.
Heartwarming, I should say, not heartbreaking.
Happiest day of our lives.
It's going to be so wonderful. You'll embrace him and you'll say, "Son, I love you so much."
Right?
And he'll say, "Dad, I love you so much."
Our big bellies touch.
Oh,
can barely get our arms on each other to hug.
So sweet. Go have a beer with him.
Yeah.
What a wonderful experience you're going to have.
Go down the ocean, get a bushel of crabs.
Yeah, the ocean.
Down the ocean, get us a little keg of Natty Boh.
Some European green crabs.
No.
Go fishing.
Maryland Blues, buddy, at the Chesapeake. You know it.
Well, no, I'm imagining him here. I don't know
who's coming out here?
Here.
I don't know. If I go there and it's a bus, I can still have time with my friends. If I bring him out here and it's a bus, it's just uncomfortable.
Sure.
Right? Got to put him back on a plane.
I'm wishing you the very best. I'm hoping that it works out. I can't wait for us to find him. We will find him.
Yeah, and
the internet's a small place.
Yeah,
we can find him.
It is.
And we can track this guy down.
It's gonna be fun.
We have that power, and we're gonna reconnect you two. And you guys deserve it. It's gonna be wonderful. So stay tuned for that, everybody. Stay tuned.
The ongoing saga.
That was my absolute favorite story of the week. It just made me feel so happy just to think that this guy's going to have a dad in his life.
Maybe for the first time.
For the first time.
In his life, yeah.
It's going to be wonderful. Bring your baseball glove.
Bring my glove.
You guys are going to have a catch.
You betcha.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got your text messages, tons of other stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
KIRO Newsradio, winners of 3 2025 Regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Feature reporting, sports reporting, and overall excellence.
And we thank you. We are the Northwest leading news station because of you, inspiring us every day to deliver the local news and stories you care about.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Watch and listen anywhere by downloading the KIRO Newsradio app, and always stay connected at mynorthwest.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit IRGPT.com, IRGPT.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Department of Justice today agreed to drop criminal charges against Boeing over the deadly crashes of 2 MAX planes about 6 years ago. Mark Lindquist is an attorney for the victims' families. He says in exchange, Boeing agreed to meet certain requirements.
Those conditions include further payments to the victim families, improvements in compliance and quality control procedures, and the like.
All of that is expected to cost the company more than $1 billion. Lindquist calls it a sweetheart deal. It still needs to be finalized. The rush is on at the port of Seattle to ship as many goods back and forth between the U.S. and China. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the news comes as both sides pause their ongoing trade war.
Last month, port officials say the average weekly number of imported containers was down more than 22%. In just a few weeks, Port Commissioner Ryan Calkins says we'll see a line of ships anchored and waiting to offload goods. However,
quite honestly, neither a peak nor a valley is good for port operations. We'd much rather have a steady stream of traffic coming in.
An empty port means fewer goods. A busy one means delays. And if tariffs go back to 145% in August, the surge will turn to empty again. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump issued a new pair of tariff threats today, pledging 50% levies on imported goods from the European Union.
They haven't treated our country properly. They banded together to take advantage of us.
The president also said he'll put a 25% tariff on all foreign-made smartphones. CBS's Nancy Cordes has more on that from the White House.
He said that these tariffs are actually going to go into effect at the end of this month. And he also argued that this is what has to happen in order to force Apple to move its production back to the United States.
Smokey Bear is officially taking his message on the road. New license plates featuring Smokey are coming to our state, all thanks to a new bill signed by Governor Ferguson this week. Funds will go toward the state's Department of Natural Resources. Now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family, and boy, is it busy out there on this getaway day ahead of the holiday. We got a big crash in Kirkland, northbound 405 at 85th. It's blocking the 3 right lanes. Only the 2 left toll lanes are open to traffic. You're backed up to 520, and right now Bellevue to Linwood is a 35-minute drive. That's about a 15-minute delay. You're looking at about an hour drive now from Linwood to Seattle, thick right as you reach Green Lake all the way down to downtown. It does clear nicely after you pass the West Seattle Bridge. Then you slow down big time from Tacoma to Olympia. That's about an hour and 20-minute drive, thick from Lakewood just past JBLM. Again, this is all holiday weekend traffic on their way to the coast. Bellevue to Renton, that's about a 30-minute drive, but at least the lake bridges are in decent shape. You do slow down a bit on I-90 about mid-span across the lake. The Harnish Auto family annual super sale is here. Volkswagen, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Subaru, and Kia. Learn more at harnishautofamily.com. The Harnish Auto family, where people matter. Weather is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are cleared today, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 60s. We'll stay dry through the weekend. Temperatures on Saturday and Sunday into the low 70s. Right now, 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, welcome back to the show. We get a lot of text messages from you guys every day. We love reading through them, and we can highlight some of these when we can. And some of them are really great, so we're highlighting them right now. Laura, fire away.
On the new crack on a Jake and Spike detective theme song.
Yes.
Fernando in Seattle says, why isn't Laura in the song?
Thank you, Fernando. I forgot to put Laura in the song. Not because she doesn't deserve to be in it, because I did a version with Laura in it yesterday. Mm-hmm. You guys all hated it. Not you all. Laura didn't even vote for it. That was her own song.
That's true.
There's just something about a 2-person thing that sounds like a little snappier, but I agree with you.
Okay, I get it.
But I agree with you that Laura should be in the song.
I'm not a third amigo. I'm not in the song.
No. Amiga, you're an amiga.
No, it's okay.
We're going to figure out how to get her in the song. Thank you, Fernando.
This is, again, a work in progress.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
We're spitballing here, you know. We're workshopping here.
Jake and Spike wouldn't be a crime-fighting duo without Laura helping us out.
No,
so she's got to
no
be in
way.
the song.
Yeah.
She's got to be in the song.
Kara, the cleaning lady on YouTube live stream says the Gig Harbor community is actively searching for a miniature Highland cow who disappeared from her farm in the Artendale area. Not sure if she's been found yet or not. Hey,
we found out very shortly after that from somebody else who texted that the missing mini cow had been found.
You're welcome.
The miniature Highland cow. They just texting to the show is enough sometimes.
That's the power of this show.
Wow.
We didn't even have to mention it, and I think we get credit for solving that crime.
Amazing.
We solved it during the show.
Yeah.
That's how fast you guys are.
Without even knowing it was missing, we solved that case, which is unbelievable. On the missing East African crown crane, Doug in Mount Vernon says missing birds and missing fugitives escape on Sound Transit. We should look that up.
The number one choice for escaping fugitives. Sound Transit.
Yep,
wow, we need more security on Sound Transit. We need like fare enforcement
and
at
vets.
the very minimum.
Yep.
And vets.
And
nets. On the elusive European green crabs, Bernie and Squim says the eelgrass and green crabs eat is also Dungeness crab habitat. They're open season on the East Coast. They are making crab broth with the green crabs. Is that true? I'll look into that.
Interesting.
Oh, are those green European crabs even edible? I don't even know.
For broth, maybe.
Bill in Lake Stevens says, hi, Spike. This is to you specifically, Spike. My wife and I are going to spend 2 weeks in Maine this September, flying in via Boston. We're calling it our seafood vacation. Please give us some recommendations. Where should they go? What should they eat?
Oh, man. Well, get me Bill's text line number off air, and I'll send Bill a couple directly. If you're going up to the Boston area, you got to go to Gloucester. You got to go out to Gloucester. Catch the train to Gloucester. Not a far ride from Boston. Go out there and get yourself some lobster.
They got good lobster out there?
Oh, my God.
Good lobster in
Go out
Gloucester.
there to Harbor. Oh, my friend. Oh, my gosh.
Is that where Matt Damon is from?
He's a South Bay. He's a Southie.
He's a Southie?
He and Affleck are both Southies.
Is that where Good Will Hunting is from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's that area?
Yep. You ever seen the movie The Town?
I have seen
Ben
The Town.
Affleck, right?
Yeah.
And
Is that
Jeremy Renner.
Gloucester?
That's South Bay. Those are Back Bay.
That's South Bay.
Yeah, that's the urban
Common
area
mistake.
around Boston. Yeah. Gloucester's a coastal. It's an old, picturesque coastal New England whaling history. Gloucester.
What's the movie with DiCaprio where he plays like a cop who's pretending?
Departed.
Where's that at?
That's Boston.
That's also in Boston.
That's Boston. Yeah.
Okay. Good seafood there.
Good seafood there. Yeah, but give me his number. I'll send him out to a couple places.
Do.
Sweet.
On
you
the
want to
glass.
get to Spinnaker. That's the spot you want to go. Sorry, that was such a great trip. Anywho, go on.
Check it out.
On the glassy renovations of the Space Needle, 253 says, Jake, I'm with you, brother. I don't like heights. I feel physically ill in skyscrapers.
Thank you, 253. I get sweaty.
Do you?
Like your palms or your whole body?
Yeah, my whole body.
Your whole body. A little nauseous. Yep, I'm with you, man. 425 says, I worked a ladder roof pole climbing job for decades. Heights don't bother me, but witnessed people who couldn't do it. It was not pretty when someone freaks out about 6 or 8 feet above the earth. Looks like a whole body type fear. Yeah.
6 or 8 feet.
Curable.
6 or 8 feet wouldn't bother me.
That's nothing.
I climb up on I'm not like a. I climb up on my ladder to do stuff that I need with my gutters or my roof.
You got home maintenance, you bet.
I got home maintenance. I got lights to put up during the holidays.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me a bit. But like 800 feet?
Yeah. Let's cable you to atop the Space Needle?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I hear you.
206 went to the Grand Canyon recently. They have a place you walk out on over the canyon on a glass walkway. You're looking several thousand feet down.
I've heard about that.
Not me.
Yeah, I've heard about that place.
I wouldn't go there.
I didn't go just because you have to pay extra to do it.
Oh, you got to pay to walk on
it's like
that?
a private company, and it's kind of expensive. I think it was like $60 to $70.
$70 to
the
look down?
To look down and be scared. I can look down from the rim.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Rex in Gig Harbor says there used to be a gas flame at the top of the Space Needle. Fun,
I didn't know that.
I think he's confusing that with the commemorative lighter they used to sell in the 60s. I got one at home. It's about a foot tall, shape of a Space Needle.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
a lighter.
Do you have one, really?
I got one, yeah.
You should bring it in.
I also have a Jim Beam liquor decanter shape of the Space Needle from the 2 World Fair.
Really?
Yeah.
That
My
would
wife
be
collects Space Needle memorabilia.
Well,
got plates, glasses, a lighter, ceramic.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Yep.
On the Titan submersible disaster, Chuck in Lake Forest says, I was a 19-year-old Polaris missile boat submariner in 1967. Oh, that's interesting. Our patrols would be 2 months submerged, the coolest experiences of my entire life. We should reach out to Chuck. I'd be interested to talk to a submariner.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, Chuck and I have been going back and forth on the text line because I had a million questions for him immediately.
Can we get him on?
Totally have him. Chuck, if you're listening, We totally want you to come
We're
on.
going to reach out and we're going to get you on. 2 months submerged.
I know.
What is that like?
Right?
Are your taste buds, do they just disappear? Like, there's a lot of questions I have. It's not all about food.
That's crazy.
But it might be mostly about food.
It's a lot about food.
Do they have donuts down there?
I want to know how they sleep 3 guys to a bunk. Because you got boys in one bedroom.
Well, it's shifts.
Right?
They sleep in
There you
shifts.
go.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
Gary on the YouTube live stream said, I wouldn't have gotten on board that death trap.
Yeah.
Speaking about the Titan submersible. Or the,
Titan submersible. It's really interesting. There was a guy, I don't remember his name, but he was a very wealthy guy who had the opportunity to go down on the fateful, voyage that ended up ending in disaster. And when they talked to him about it, his son was the one. He was going to go down there with his son, and his son was the one who said, no, thanks. This thing's not safe. So they canceled the trip. And apparently, in this documentary that I watched already on it, Stockton Rush, the guy who ran it and started the whole thing, reached out to him multiple times on text messages offering him discounts because he was trying to fill the seats. They're tremendously expensive. They were like $250,000 a piece.
Yeah, right.
And then for one guy, he's like, listen, I got extra seats. If you want to come with us, it's a discounted rate. And it almost got this guy to go. But his son was like, nope, I heard it's not safe. It's dangerous.
Wow.
And so they didn't go. Oh my God. The seats were filled by another father-son duo who decided to go down. They unfortunately were part of the
Heartbreaking,
they lost their lives.
the guy with his 19-year-old son,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
That was I think one of the more heartbreaking
So sad.
deaths on that. Oh, yeah.
Awful. But yeah, there's a documentary coming out on Netflix on June 11th. Let's see. Let's get to advice for our younger selves. This was great. We want to make sure to get to this one. We played a video earlier, a school put together 6th graders and seniors talking to themselves through time and the magic of video. So start us off, Laura.
Sarah in Ferndale says, pass home ec in 8th grade so your parents don't pull you from the month-long trip to England you were going on with the class.
Funny. That's a good one.
Oh my gosh. Vicky says, don't be afraid to fail, as that's when you learn the most and usually end up with some really hilarious stories.
That's really good advice, actually.
Yeah.
The fear of failure is so crippling for a lot of people.
Yep.
They won't attempt it if they don't think they can succeed. But the truth is, you can't really succeed at most stuff you try for the first time.
You learn more.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There you go.
Michael Jordan.
Absolutely.
Right there.
425 says, I used a couple during my coaching career. One, I used to give a couple. I guess he's saying I had a couple.
I used a couple of these during my coaching career.
Couples of
Gotcha.
advices he used.
1, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you decide to react to it. That's perfect advice. That's totally true. And number 2, you control 2 things in every situation that you encounter: your attitude and your effort.
Oh,
that's so smart. It's good advice.
I'd buy a T-shirt with that on it. Jesus and Kent.
Jesus.
Hey, sorry, I always do that. Sorry, Jesus. And Kent, there's no reason why you can't make a video with your kids now. It'd be great for all of you.
Yeah, it's good advice.
That's seriously great advice.
Really good advice. Thank you, guys. That's a lot of great advice. Absolutely. We have more. Believe it or not, we have one more segment with you left coming up next. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Memorial Day weekend, while celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you, we are KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, homeowners, Spike O'Neill here. Protect your investment, your biggest investment, now with Integrity Roofing and Construction. Get ahead of the summer rush. Integrity are family-owned, award-winning roofing and construction companies ready to give your home the protection it deserves. Integrity offers a complete in-house construction division for all your projects. Integrity Roofing is known for top-notch service and on-site project management that makes the process incredibly easy. Beat the summer rush. Call Integrity today at 206-202-ROOF. That's 206-202-ROOF, or find them online and get a free estimate at integrityrc.com. Integrity RC is a complete in-house construction division for all your projects.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Business leaders know to solve a problem, you gotta look at it in a new way. Like travel between Seattle and Portland. Why is it such a pain? I-5 traffic, TSA slowdowns, SeaTac hassles. Seaport removes those pain points. We fly out of Boeing Field and a private terminal at PDX. You park for free, steps away from your plane. And with flights every 45 minutes, you're always home for dinner. Problem solved. Seaport Airlines. It's about time.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season, and we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Sunrise Sunset Smoothie for National Flip Flop Day on May 28th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
Got pickleball game? Play with Seattle football legends in the Champions of Change pickleball tournament on June 28th, benefiting high school athletes. Register at championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball or donate at your local Safeway.
I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after turning 40, I noticed my libido just wasn't what it used to be. That's when I reached out to Revive Health. Their team knew exactly what I needed, which is why today, my wife and I are both more satisfied than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/privacy policy. For info on how opt-in info will be used and terms and conditions at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
Welcome back to the show. I don't know if you guys are enjoying it as much as I am, but AI babies is still a big thing in my life. They have taken anything that you love in popular media, anything you love, and through the magic of AI, because it's so seamless and amazing these days, they shrink people down to the size of babies, and it's just so much more enjoyable. We played a clip earlier in the week of Bernie Sanders and RFKJ arguing during some committee back and forth.
Yeah.
But them as babies is hilarious and really entertaining and funny. And they have like I've seen AI babies of every super popular media personality.
Oh, I've seen the Sopranos entire cast.
AI
babies,
Soprano babies.
AI Friends.
It's like the Muppet babies, but
this is
real people.
The thing about the AI baby trend is that the AI technology uses the eyes of the person that is being babified, if I can create its own word. So, I mean, it actually looks like, they had one of Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta doing the "What Am I Funny" scene.
That's the other thing. It's babies. It's babies saying things that they shouldn't be saying.
But shouldn't be. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
also babies talking, and babies don't talk.
Babies don't talk. But it's like the Bernie Sanders. Do you support the Milton, the anti-vax onesie? You support the onesie? And it's got
Do you support this onesie?
This little baby with Bernie Sanders' face and eyes and
then
glasses.
RFKJ with his scratchy voice. I do support. It's hilarious. Okay, so our offering for you today, if you're watching on YouTube, it is a baby Princess Bride, specifically the scene with the Sicilian.
The inconceivable.
With, what's her name? It's not Dandelion. What's her name?
Buttercup.
I
Princess
knew it was a
Buttercup.
flower. Princess
Wesley.
Buttercup.
As
Wesley,
Red
I
Private
believe, will be
Robin
there.
says he is identified in this particular scene before it's revealed.
There you go.
Just momentarily before it's revealed that he is indeed Wesley the farm boy.
That's right.
God, I love this movie.
We watched this the other day with my kids.
Perfect movie.
We turned it on. One of my kids was homesick, and we were like, "Hey, you know what? Let's put on a movie where a kid is sick."
Right?
So we all watched it as a family, and they loved it. It's so great. It's so good, and it holds up. It's obviously a great movie. That's why you all love it. All right, let's play this real fast. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you can enjoy it along with us. If you're just listening, it's the same great audio from the movie, but just imagine this being said by adorable, tiny little babies.
Colonel Jessup!
What happened?
Oh,
there?
that's
free skills training program.
Cycle through.
Oh, that was A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Now we've
I
lost it.
don't want to see
We've lost
somebody make a baby of Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the
After
truth.
all
A
that
little baby
setup.
face would be so great.
Is it gone, Laura? Is it not happening? All right,
I'll
might
get
be
it
gone.
back. Just
it
give
might
me
be
a minute.
gone. All right, Laura,
Oh,
get
my
it back in
goodness.
just a second. But that's the magic of these AI things.
So clearly, I can't take the cup that is in front of me.
Yeah, but you could have it. You can't. All right, here we go. Loura, can you just here? I'll play it here. Laura's gonna play it, so I don't ruin it. All right, here we go.
Me from my class, and you from yours.
Oh, look at this. You gotta be watching at home. Oh, I wish you folks were watching with us.
You guessed wrong.
They're
You
drinking
only
like babies.
think I guessed wrong. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. Ha ha, you fool. You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known is this. Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Oh, my God.
Wallace Shawn, is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, God, he was wonderful.
So funny. Oh, these are great. Babies are great. Babies are hilarious.
I tell you what, though, man, you made a point. Was it earlier this week that we played the Bernie Sanders, and late last week? One of the points. That's the only way you can watch politics
It's the
anymore.
only way I give any care about politics.
Right.
These days.
It's gotten so theatrical. I mean, it's theatrical, so why not make it? Go all the way in.
not make
Let's
it
go all in.
hilarious?
Make
Yeah.
it hilarious.
Yeah.
I'd watch hours of Senate and congressional testimony and hearings if they were all AI babies.
If they were all AI babies,
Yep,
I'd be much more likely to watch them.
AI baby Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'd watch that.
C-SPAN, if you're listening.
C-SPAN babies.
That's a paid channel I'd pay to see.
Yeah. And you'd enjoy it, and they're
I would,
adorable.
and we'd learn.
And you know what? We'd probably feel closer to people we might disagree with
There you
because we
go.
go, oh, it's
Who
just
can
a sweet
hate-
little
who can
baby.
hate
We're all
little
just
baby.
little babies at
Tiny little
heart.
babies. Sweet little babies. All right. I hope you guys have a really nice holiday weekend. We're going to take Monday off.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people out there are going to be traveling, so stay safe on the roads. And we'll see you back here Tuesday.
Yeah, enjoy the ones you love and spend time, and keep in mind what the weekend is all about.
Absolutely. All right, guys. See you then. Bye-bye.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
This is Jill Schlesinger. May is Military Appreciation Month, and I know how much I appreciate the military. I married into a military family. I hear from so many members of the military, and Navy Federal Credit Union wants us to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. If you're active duty, a veteran, or part of a military family, you're eligible to join. At Navy Federal Credit Union, the members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you